Thank you for offering your blood. 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 Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to tonight's stream. This is your vampire Onesimus, Sister Midnight, here with you. Wait, let me just... Can I make you phase me for a little bit? Because the tracking is a little bit off. Ah, okay. Hello once again. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's stream. Congratulations, Dex, for reclaiming your throne as first. Really, there's no secret to it, Ashley Sakura. Welcome, by the way. Also, Henry. Hello. Good evening. There is no secret to it. Basically, you just sit and chat and wait for the scene to change. And once that changes, it will allow you to redeem the you know.
Thank you for offering your blood.
Why is it still like thank you, Megusta. Secret is he is waiting before the pop-up even comes. Yes, that is correct. He is probably already in chat because you can sit and chat. That's one of the things that makes Twitch one of the advantages of Twitch over YouTube is the fact that you can basically stay in chat and you'd be able to redeem it once the stream goes live. So if you're already there, then...
Thank you for offering your blood.
Hello, by the way, Dark Blood Viper. Hello. Good evening.
Thank you for offering your blood.
Serzot. Hello. Good evening. How is everyone today? I hope you guys had a wonderful day so far, or is having a wonderful day so far, or a wonderful morning, as Serzot is apparently at. You just woke up. I see. Okay, I'm very early, aren't I? I'm like, oh my god, I am early. I'm not late. Enjoy the obsidian demon blood. Thank you for that, Viper. Dark blood Viper. I'm going to assume that you have less oxygen in your blood since it's dark colored blood. No, you're just in time. I know, right? It's like, who am I? Me being like on time and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm the one trying to wake up earlier. I see. I am a demon. So does that explain why you have dark colored blood? Anyways, tonight we are going to be having, as you can see, we have our podcast, the Mdnight podcast, episode 2 interview with the vampire. It's not going to be always interview with the vampire. I can be changing it up. Right now, this particular segment of the Mdnight podcast is called the interview with the vampire because we're basically conducting an interview. We have a guest over and we'll be conducting some interview. There will be other segments later on, and it won't be titled interview with a vampire, but who are you? Who am I? Are you lost, Megusta? You are actually a creature from another planet who has been isekai'd into the earth. Interview with
Thank you for offering your blood.
Thank you for that, Akami. Okay, so how has everyone's day been? Mine has been, or actually is still, wait, let me just move away a little bit because, I know Akami doesn't like it up close and personal, so I'm gonna stay far away so that, he doesn't get uncomfortable with me being too close. I'm a Martian. Yes, you're an otherworlder. Okay, if I'm speaking weirdly right now or differently from what time is it there? It is 8:06 p.m. where I am at. Dark Blood Viper. No, I don't like to be sucked dry like a prune. I'm not going to suck you dry like a prune. I am a believer in sustainable farming. So if I am going to farm anybody's blood, I have to make sure that I don't deplete it So I give time to everyone to replenish their blood supply. That is why the stream is not every day. Otherwise, you would probably lose your blood a lot faster. I have no problem with up close.
Damage.
Yes, be it close and personal is being up close and personal is Monkey's strength. She's speaking weirdly due to the white sun. So you have a 12-hour difference from me? Most probably, yeah. If you're located, I don't know, maybe NA is where you're located. If there is a 12-hour difference, then I'm assuming that is the case. Now I'm just cattle? No. When you say cattle, that means that you are being groomed or cleaned for slaughter, which is not what I had in mind for you guys. Definitely not. You're my precious garlic heads, and I would never assume to slaughter you, unless of course you behave and, you know, snuck a toe out of line. Then you can be damn sure that I'm going to be doing something about it. Alright? Simple as that. Hello, Joms. Good evening.
Thank you for offering your blood.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I knew I could smell you in chat. I didn't know that people could emit a certain smell when they're in chat. Hello, Zere Hikikomoni. Oh no, I don't know how to pronounce it. Zere Hikikomoni. Has what? East coast of the US. Ah, I see. Okay. Take Sir Zot and spare me? Well, that will depend on Sir Zot, though. Like, if he's willing to take, or if he's willing to take your place and be bitten twice, that is his decision. More like the smell of potatoes and disappointment. Why potatoes and disappointment? Like, are they related to each other in some way? And VTuber women. Do VTuber women have a certain smell? I mean, I have heard worse things, so, because I'm Irish by birth. Oh. How many times did I get bit? I think there's a way to check that, but I'm gonna have to check later. Yeah, it's a bit like regret. I see. I'm gonna, you know, one of these days I'm gonna go find myself a potato and then sniff it and see so that I can, you know, like have an idea as to what regret and disappointment smells like. Potatoes and disappointment, because I'm always disappointed in this path. Hello, Darker. Hello. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, yeah. If I sound a little bit weird today, or, you know, if I feel like, or I sound like I have more fluid in my mouth than usual, I don't know. It is because my braces have been adjusted this morning, and my dentist added 2 more brackets to my teeth, lower teeth, you know, the teeth that I used to chew, and it's now starting to hurt because, you know, braces are meant to do that. So they move your teeth around, and so because of that, they start to hurt. Good evening, Darker. I will only take the extra bite if my redeem counts as 2. Well, unfortunately, no. It's gonna count towards me gusta. Fluid in your mouth. Yeah, because it's a little bit hard to swallow when the wires basically are making it hard, because the brackets, I don't know how to describe it, but it's making it difficult to swallow. So there'll be a lot of saliva. Oh god. There'll be a lot of saliva in my mouth, so if I'm talking weirdly, it is because of that. So yeah. I need to get ready for a world boss in 4 hours time to entertain me. World boss? Ah, the Diablo one, is that right? You just need time to get used to it. Probably. The pain will probably disappear later. You know, not later tonight, but maybe next day. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I am sidetracked. Okay, so once again, this evening we will be doing our Luchan. Thank you for the resub.
Lucich 2, love Lucich 2, love Lucich 2, love Lucich 2, love Lucich 2, love.
Thank you for the resub, Luchan. I know you're streaming as well right now, so thank you for dropping by. Okay, so, okay, as you can see, we have our guests. This will be the second guests that I have in this podcast, and the second VTuber collab that we will have, since we've had this new model. So, I still prefer Lulu. That's emotional damage right there. It just ended. Ah, I see. Okay. That's emotional damage right there. Okay, so let's not waste any more time, and let us go and meet our guest. I don't know. Some people may already have some idea as to who that particular guest is, but for those who are not, then buckle up and enjoy. Okay, let me just move my avatar towards here, because, you know, this is where I'll be sitting while our guest will be on the right. I have also taken the liberty of serving them some beer, because that is the only one that I had in my inventory. I don't have any hard liquor that I can find, so beer was the most alcoholic drink I could find, so forgive me for that. And then some cake. So yeah, there you go. We shall now be switching scenes. Oh wait, no, not really. We are gonna be actually calling him. Oh no, yeah, I will be calling them so that we can yes. So I'm just gonna start it, and yes, I'm just gonna mute myself first, or deafen, I don't know, guess. All right. Okay, so there you go. We are now in the call, so I am now gonna be switching scenes so that you can. Your call have been rejected, bro. Okay, all right. Wait, where is our guest? Our guest has disappeared. Ah, there you go. He's still loading in because my internet is, you know. Okay, let me just undeafen myself now.
Hello.
Hello.
I look really blurry. What's going on?
No, it's just the internet loading in.
No worries. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so good evening, Monkey. For everyone,
Hello.
Please welcome our guest for the evening. We have Skaten Monk, also called Monkey by the ladies.
Oh, the ladies call me Monkey, and thank you for having me.
You're very
they call me
welcome.
other things
Thank
as
you
well, but none
for
of them are stream
agreeing
appropriate.
to. Yes, thank you for agreeing to be in this interview podcast as well.
Anytime.
Okay, so as you can see, we are fellow VTubers who enjoy the red and black
Yeah.
combination.
It wasn't originally my aesthetic. I was originally black and purple, but the reds kind of grow on me. Plus, people can't tell if I'm bleeding, so.
Yes, so much easier to hide all the blood, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have taken the liberty of putting some beer in front of you, if you want. I didn't have any wine or anything stronger.
No
In
wine,
my-
no whiskey. Oh,
Yeah, no whiskey at all.
beer will
So
be fine.
beer was the strongest I could find, and maybe some cake if you want. The regular cake, you know, the cake that actually can be
What other types of cake are there?
eaten.
You'll have to.
That's what I was
mean,
saying.
The other type of cake you could eat. I'm an adventurous guy, but
I mean, there are different kinds of cake, and I'm pretty sure they can all be eaten.
that's the spirit.
It doesn't have to be edible. Oh, Lord. But yes,
I do have a bit
okay.
of a cold, so I might sound a bit nasally also.
Okay. Hello, Chan. John Cena was in the what? Oh, I thought we were talking with Invisible Man. What? What? Zod, what is it? Okay, so... yeah, I got a little bit lost. Okay, so as you can see, we are currently in the upper levels of my castle, so no dungeon because, you know, you are an honored guest, so there are lights and there are and there are other stuff, but there will be no dungeon. Yes.
Brother was looking to get chained up by the end of the night. What's going on?
The mods can probably help you out with that one later.
All right, fine.
With the
It's not what I wanted, but fine.
with the dungeon thing, but yes. Okay, so I can't remember when we actually started interacting. Monkey, I can't remember. It was quite a while already ago. And we have already been in other games previously, or we played what was it that we played? I think it was COD, right?
We've played COD and we played Destiny, I think.
Ah, yes, I remember that. Okay. So yeah, the
Just OP running through Destiny. I think I was like about 200 levels higher than you. So.
that was the one where we did a raid, right? Where we tried to cheese the whole thingy, or
Did we cheese? Oh no, we did.
Yeah.
We did. We did Vault Glass because we cheesed it. I remember doing the cheese.
Yes,
on
that
And
one.
There was the other one.
And then the
With
one
Lightfall.
where we did the one with the Vex. No, yeah, the new one.
Yeah, that's
the
Vault Glass.
dungeon.
Yeah.
Yes.
The new dungeon was the other one. I think that was we did the Lightfall stuff, and I was
Yeah, the
just
Lightfall
hitting
thingy.
bosses.
Yes. Hello, Chicken Man. Good evening.
The
Okay.
chicken man.
What?
Sorry, got a bit Breaking Bad. Why am I shrank? Oh no! Why am I so small now? Let me just grow up again.
Please don't
You
go
don't
under
know.
the table because you know there are some
Alright.
unmentionables under the table. So no looking under the table, please.
Hang on, what? What kind of unmentionables are we talking here? Let me just.
Just some wires, basically.
I don't know.
Just some
Oh,
wires to
wire,
help
okay.
set
I'm
set
pretty
up
sure
all
that's
of
lace,
this.
but yeah, that's fine.
Yes, just wires. Yes, that's all.
Yeah.
Any other unmentionable that that you may see there, just don't mention it.
No, my lips are sealed.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's get right to it because I'm trying to remember what system you're playing games on. We are currently, or we're both actually playing on PC, right? Monkey?
Yes, I kind of have everything. I've got a Switch, PlayStation, an Xbox, and the PC all kind of on one desk. So I've
That
got
means-
too many video game consoles.
That's a big desk then if you have like a PC and
It's
several
actu-
types of consoles.
It's actually a dining table that's been converted into a desk.
Well, that's a Giga Chad move right there, having a dining and a whole ass dining table as your, you know, computer table. I guess that's one way of fitting all of those in.
Indeed. It's a squeeze, but I get it in most of the time.
I wasn't expecting the under the table thing. I nearly choked with tea. That's, you know, you gotta learn to roll with the punches. That is.
That's it. If a lady asks you to go under the table, it's, you know, it's your duty at that point.
I'm planning on getting a laptop at some point. Okay, so we start with our first question because we have already like kind of got into it without actually doing the thing. So
Yeah.
let's start off with. Can you give us like a little bit of a background regarding your OC or the lore, maybe a little bit of yeah.
The lore I'm still kind of working on. I mean, we did like a joke lore on my debut where I basically just put my face over like the Top Gun trailer and the Die Hard trailer and trailer
Yeah, I
for
think I
Archie
saw
Bites.
that before.
Yeah, and I was basically like, yeah, that's my lore. There you go. There's a lore. But then I actually kind of got tempted to do a proper lore, but I was still sort of writing it as of the moment, and I was going to work with Zenny, who does a lot of the artwork for me, on making it more of a comic.
Okay, so comic type with a reveal or your lore.
Yeah, it's a very ambitious little side project, but I need to also learn how to write because writing is hard. I've realized recently. It's but the design itself was actually all full Monya, because I was initially a little cartoon drawing. Actually, I will send you the drawing over Discord. Actually, but I had a drawing that was more a caricature of sort of me in real life, and then when I first started streaming, let me just pull that up for you. Where did I put that? Yes, here it is. So you can slap that up on screen if you desire.
Yeah. Okay, let me just open this in the browser and download it. Just a sec. Okay. There we go. Add image. There we go. Add source. Add new source. Okay. And name it monkey. There we go.
No, not quite Harambe.
Where is that? Avatar related, I think. There we go. Guests. Aha. There we are. Oh, it's so big. Wait.
Oh wow, that is big. Just took up the screen with our logo. Nice. That's brand energy, that is. Yeah, so that was what I originally started looking like. So I was more of a PNG tuber to begin with, but it was like not really anime, but it was kind of a friend of mine drew that who I made friends with while I was studying in California. So she drew that for me, and then I sort of used it as my placeholder.
For like Discord calls or something like that?
Just Discord, started streaming and such. And then I met Fulmonia, and she was a VTuber, and I was obviously just a cartoon little dude. And we did a couple streams together and collabed a lot. And she ended up making me a model.
The V-Ride one. And yes, I remember.
Yeah. So she kind of made the design. So apparently she based it off a couple of her dating game, like husbando type things. So
a husbando. Okay. All right.
A lot of them, she showed me like a lot of the inspirations that she had, and all of them were games from guys like male on male romance games. And I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Male on male. Okay.
Like, is there a single heterosexual person you base my model on? Like, at all? But yeah, no. So it's sort of the design came purely from Fulms. So
okay.
I sort
and
of
that is what you
it.
expanded on when you turned into an L2D model.
Yeah, kind of. Initially, I had the sort of open crop top sort of design. So, like, hang on. Let me. So this was my. Where is it? What button did I press for it? It's that one, isn't it?
Atomic games.
Yeah,
I don't know what atomic games are.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. That's a world that's unknown to me. But yeah, I initially had the sort of open cut top thing, but then I sort of added a few changes to the design of my own because obviously playing a lot of tactical games and stuff.
Yes, because that one, the night vision goggles and stuff.
That's it, yeah. You get night vision goggles and so on.
Honestly, mad respect for people who create V-Roids. All those points of movement setup looks overwhelming. The V-Roid actually helps you with that already. Basically, when you create a model, you'll be able to have body tracking already if you connect the right software. But yeah, I think both of us started as V-Roid models, Monkey, right? I started as a V-Roid model as well.
In the VTuber space, yeah. I
Mm.
didn't consider myself a VTuber until I actually had like the model itself, like
Yes,
the
yes,
3D
of
one.
course. Okay, okay. So wait, let me just. All right, there we go. I'm gonna close out of the picture that you sent so that it won't
Yeah.
cover your your physique. So let me close out of that. You play as a female and go on dates with guys is the basic of the Atomic games. Ah, so it's like a dating game sort of thing, but
Yeah.
from what Volmania is basing it from, it's not of a male or not a female to girl. What?
Guy on guy, yeah. Like,
Female
literally
to
all of them are guy
male
on guys.
dating game, but more like a male to male sort of thing, or I don't know, something.
A lot of pretty boys kissing other pretty boys type thing, so.
Yes, the pretty boy sort of thing. Yeah, yeah. The Bijonen, I think is that the. I'm not sure if that's a term, but I think it's an anime term though. Used to, is that not a Viroid? Forgive me, I'm still new to all the terminology. No, this one we are now both sporting. We are now both using actually live 2D models. These are now 2D models.
Sporting makes it feel like you've got a fancy new coat. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be sporting this Gucci, a 2D model. Thank you very
Right? No, yeah, wrong term to use, wrong term to use. But yeah, we are now both using 2D models, and we are using VTube Studio to make our models move. With Vroid, we have a different software to use for that. So basically, it's the homosexual version of the Atomic.
Basically, yeah. Like, when I searched up the characters, there wasn't a single character that wasn't kissing another man at some point, and I was like, all right, cool, fair enough. I mean,
Yes,
homie,
it's
don't
a
get down
testament
like
to
that,
your
but-
masculinity if you can carry a character that is meant for, I don't know, boy love, I suppose.
Kissing boys.
Yes, and be able to, carry it off in a masculine way.
Yeah, I bring an air of masculinity to the twink fucking facade that I'm currently occupying, but
Okay. So, considering that you're now a VTuber, or you consider yourself now a VTuber, what made you decide to become a VTuber? And oh, by the way, were you already streaming before you became a VTuber? Or
yeah. So I was streaming with that cartoon, and then
okay.
after Fulms, so we did a joke stream where I was like, "Look, I'm an anime boy now," and I used the model, and everyone just really enjoyed it. And then Fulms made the cat ears for it, and I was like, "Look, I'm a cat boy now," and then literally everyone really enjoyed that, and then sort of I saw traffic increase and so on, and I was like, all right, I guess the cat ears and the anime boy facade are now staying, so that's fine. And then sort of just dived like fully into it rather than
Dive with both hands, dive into the cat boy VTuber pool.
That's it. Yeah, I always tell people that a crazy Filipino woman just came in and dragged me into the VTuber space, which isn't half untrue. Like,
Yeah, but sometimes the best characters are the ones that are totally not planned. Like, they just evolve, right? Like, it's not something that you planned beforehand, but it just sort of, grew on you and started to evolve. And I think that's
Yeah.
also a good kind of, origin to start VTubing.
I get what you mean. I think it's. I don't think of it as so much as a character. It's just like just an avatar for me to sort of express. If that makes sense. I
Exactly,
don't
right?
there's
Like
no,
a representation of
separation.
who you are, but you're not like creating a different character or persona. It's just you,
Yeah.
but animated or something like that.
Basically, yeah. Like
Mm.
there's not like it's not like a character I'm playing. Like all the stuff that I say is stuff that I would say in real life. and
IRL.
such. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you're basically just using the model to represent.
Yeah. Essentially, it's also a good way because like it comes with anonymity as well to a degree, so you can
Yes.
kind of like walk away from it.
Exactly.
Like if it ever blows up, you can sort of be like, well, I've still got a separation and I can still have a normal life. You're not
Yes,
gonna
the
be one of those
privacy
people that gets,
thing,
like,
right?
Yeah, that's
Mm.
it. So you're not going to get harassed in the streets. But like, 10 years from now when you're an office worker or whatever, or like, you go into like a normal sort of more, like, a more bog standard sort of position in like a professional sense, you can just be like, not having people recognize you from it. You can
Yes,
just be
exactly. Like, weren't you the that streamer thingy? Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah,
always.
and not to mention I like to cross the line occasionally with like more controversial sort of jokes and
Mhm.
topics. So obviously, it also is a nice way to sort of not excuse myself from it, but like if things get a bit too crazy, I can just sort of be like, all right, chill. Or at least I can separate myself from it entirely.
Yes, there is a sort of a divide that you
Yeah.
can, put in because of the fact that you're using an avatar model to represent you instead of your face.
Yeah.
How many demon VTubers are out in the community? Probably too many to mention, because demon VTubers are like probably one of the most common avatar types or VTuber types.
That's what cats were, to be fair.
Oh yeah. That one too. I mean, there are like
Yeah.
a lot of combinations of stuff like cats and cat demons and all those sorts of things. Let's hope no one recognizes your voice. There is that, of course. There is always that possibility,
You can always
right?
deny it. Because if someone comes up to you in the street and is
Uh-huh.
like, "Hey, aren't you that anime boy from the internet?" and you can be like, "I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Like, what the fuck is an anime boy? What the fuck are you on about?"
Just
Stay
gaslight
away
your
from me,
way out of
Lucy.
there.
Yeah, I've gaslighted my way through many things, relationships, work, like easy. Yeah, I can't gaslight somebody on the street.
Oh, by the way, guys, just to let you know, you are free to send your questions. Monkey has given his permission for you guys to ask away. Either it can be done through chat, but if you don't want it to be done through chat, you can just DM me, either through Discord or through Twitch, so that we can see those questions and ask our honored guest tonight. Right, Luchan is a demon. See, there you go. There's one demon there for you.
I forgot about that.
Is there a vampire demon community? I am a vampire, but I'm not a demon. I am a hybrid,
There's a
though.
vampire
Yeah.
cat boy in the community. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, there's a lot of combinations. People just combine a lot of creatures together to create VTubers to their liking. So yeah.
If
Okay.
there's not a vampire cat boy, I have an idea of how we could make one. So. We can talk about that after stream.
Former demon lord. Yes, exactly. Former demon, but you're still a demon. You may not be a lord anymore, Luchan, but you are still a demon, no? Okay, was there like I mean, I think I already know the answer to this, but for those who do not know, was there like a specific event or personality that inspired you to become a VTuber?
Admittedly, I fell down the VTuber rabbit hole a little bit before, but I was kind of just watching passively.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not really the people that I watch for content, like all the sort of content I want to go for.
Mm-hmm.
If I was gonna be honest, if I was gonna lean towards more the sort of content creators that I like, I would look at people like Russian Badger, like I like Donut Operator, Russian Badger, who else? Probably like Rubik's Raptor, Sestanak.
Wait, are they VTubers as well, or are they
They're
streamers?
not VTubers, no. They're just streamers or like YouTube like people in general.
Ah,
Yeah,
I see,
Womble.
okay.
Soviet Womble's a good one as well. They're more the types of people that I like. I watch and like the content of them. Kind of like, I would say that they're more similar to the sort of style that I make. Because a lot of the
I see.
VTuber content, like, I like the VTubing content and the VTubing scene, but a lot of it's not really the sort of sense of humor that I usually go for. Like,
So different vibe to it.
yeah, more or less.
Okay. Soviet Womble donut operator as a VTuber would be hilarious. Donut. Okay. So when you first started, wait, how long have you been a VTuber? Like full on
That's actually
VTuber?
good.
Like
I
a
think-
year, 2 years, maybe something.
I think it's been a year and a bit. I think I've been streaming for about 2 years, but I don't think I've only been a VTuber for like a year and a. To be fair, it's probably about 2 years now.
Almost 2
I
years.
can't actually remember when my debut like VTuber stream was. To be fair, I know it was like in the summertime or towards the end of summer, because I was still at university. So
Okay.
possibly.
So almost a 2 year.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
2 years. We'll say 2 years just to round it off.
Well, there, or rather, what were the difficulties and the setbacks that you encountered when you were, when you were preparing to become a VTuber? Like, what were some
All the
of things?
tech. Like, I'm a fucking idiot, and half the time I don't know how to work half the shit that's in front of me. I'm just sort of staring at it like, what does that even mean? And I'm lucky because I have people that in my group.
Very helpful, yeah.
Yeah, that understand that I'm a fucking idiot and don't really know much about it, and will sit there and explain it to me. I didn't even know that I could, like, some of the rigging wasn't even complete on this model, so it looked a bit more stiff. It's still kind of not finished because I need to get the iPhone and everything so I can make it a bit more bouncy, but I didn't realize that it had the capacity to be bouncy and so on, so...
Bouncy, eh? Is there anything that's supposed to be bouncing in your model?
I mean, I can sort of move my screen up a bit if you want, but I'll be standing on the chair. But...
It's fine. You can stand on the chair. You can, like, shrink down a little bit.
Behave yourself. I'm going to be the... I'm just going to start waving it around on the screen. I've already been under the desk. Like...
Yeah, it gets even more sus. Okay. Sean, same monkey. So you're having problems with tech. Okay.
Yeah, like, especially, like, when I got a bit more experimental with it. Like, one of the main ones, I think the hardest one, was the 3D mocap one. So I had, like, to run a 3D mocap of my character, like, while I'm playing a VR game. And, like, the VR stuff, I think, was definitely the hardest.
Oh, yeah, because you have to, like, put in or input your model into VR, right?
Yeah, you got to make sure it's rigged properly for the software. And then obviously you got to get the model into VR as well. But I got people to do that for me because I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, so some of the models, like the older versions, aren't compatible, so you need like new versions of the models, and it was a mess. But it worked in the end, and that's the main thing.
Ah, okay. Same with tech, not the bulge. Bulge? What
I actually
bulge?
don't think I have a bulge, to be fair. Like, jokes aside, like, hang on, let me just... I have a bulge? No, not really. There's nothing there. It's just kind of a chain and a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna turn myself away so that you don't have to be embarrassed about showing certain bulges.
Oh,
hello, Rose.
I am not embarrassed.
I'm still salty about him. And thank you, Once Upon a Pad.
Oh yeah. The redeem.
To break my favorite redeems beyond repair. Monkey embarrassed when... No, I'm not the one... Monkey's not the one that's embarrassed. I'm the one who's feeling embarrassed because, he is standing in front of me on the chair. So,
just shaking it about.
So that's why I am going to turn away like that.
You can break a redeem through overuse. So I used to have the redeem.
Really? That's possible?
Yes. I realized that one the hard way. So we made a little like neat bit of script for the Twitch drops things.
Hello.
Where if the box got dropped on my head, it would black out the monitor that the game was on. So it basically was just like an all black overlay, or like it changed the contrast on the screen or the brightness on the screen to 0 or something. I can't remember what it was. And it got redeemed so much that it basically broke the little bit of program that we used to do it, and then it just wouldn't work anymore. And I can't get it to work to this day, but I've changed to 2D, so I don't actually have a falling box on head anymore.
Yeah.
But I did replace it with my redeems that block out the entire screen so I can't see. So I've got like ones where Virgil will cut up the screen and it'll just do that I am the storm that is approaching, but I can't see anything when like people do that.
Ah, I see. So, but you've already fixed that, or is it still like...
The box one I never fixed, but the other ones I've got working, and it's basically similar, like... if that makes sense.
Okay. Look at that. We
break
now
a lot of stuff.
have both cat ears. But I have a
Nice.
whisker, which is
Yeah, that's a step up. I don't have the whiskers. I don't even have a tail. Like, or if I do, it's like tucked in. I'm not sure.
yeah, the question is where is it tucked in? I'm just kidding. Okay.
Play cards right, you might find out.
Oh
Thank
shit.
you for offering your blood.
Wait.
Oh, hello.
Let
What are
me
you doing
just
down
move a little bit.
there? You girl, you need to chill. So the podcast is over at the very least. You start jumping across the table to get at me.
Okay, so that is a redeem that,
self-control.
you know, makes you zoom in, get closer to whoever wants to be bitten. So,
Oh, okay. I see how it is. We just where's that command? We just what we got? I think I've already redeemed the bite me, haven't I? Yeah.
yes, you have.
Damn it.
You can no longer
gonna-
have yourself be bitten. Yes.
I was gonna go for round 2, but apparently I can't do that.
No, only once. Okay, so how has been your experience as a VTuber so far? And would you have done anything different when you were, preparing and starting off?
It's been an interesting one, to be fair. Because I don't know. I wasn't expecting the positive reception of me doing it that I was expecting. I was expecting more like rinsing, but I think that's just because I'm used to that. Like that's how kind of my group operates. We're all very sort of like we rinse each other a lot, basically.
We rinse. That's an
yeah, we
interesting word.
Like it's my British coming through. It basically just means that like there's a lot of mockery.
Ah,
Like,
okay.
If you watch any of my streams and see how we talk to each other, you'll get what I mean by that. But it's very no holds barred. But yeah, no, it was interesting. I think the one thing I think is the humor blend is a bit more different. I think a lot of the VTubers have like a very sort of not similar, but like a lot of the humor in it is a bit different to what I'm used to. So there's been a bit of an adapting period to that, sort of trying to incorporate that kind of humor, as well as obviously making it my own. But
Yeah, making it your own and owning it.
I walk the TOS line very, very finely. Like I feel like after 3 Facebook bans when we used to stream on Facebook for pushing a joke a bit too far and so on.
Wait, you were banned on Facebook, bro?
We got banned 3 times on Facebook because of the humor that we had on the stream. So we had to tone it down a bit.
Ah, I see.
So-
Okay.
So yeah, Facebook I did a lot of experimental stuff, which was quite. It landed some controversies and everything else. It was quite a learning adventure.
We got banned in South Korea. What happened for
Yes,
you to
we
get
did get banned in
banned in a
South Korea.
specific country?
I think we were making jokes about North Korea being best Korea and stuff like that, and just sort of making jokes about Kim Jong Un and all the rest of it.
Holy
But like him, yeah, so we got banned in South Korea.
Oh my god, to be banned by a very specific country. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was impressed. I've been wanting to be banned by China like constantly. Like the amount of like trash I've talked about the Chinese government. I'm just like, please, I just want that like medal on my chest to say.
Yeah,
that I
it's
got
like an
banned.
additional badge of honor on you. Another
Yeah.
country where I'm banned. Yes, collect badges.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely had it coming. Like I didn't take it like I wasn't upset or offended by it. I was like, yes, let's go. We got banned in the country. Yeah, I think that's probably the only reason that we. I think my TikTok, to be fair, has a few couple like ones that they probably wouldn't be too happy about, but
But TikTok
13
is
months.
owned by
Give it
China.
up for 13
correct?
months.
yes. So I
Maybe
probably
if
do a
you
lot of
took your
my-
humor there, then they will ban you as well.
I do have a TikTok, so I do have a TikTok with all the same sort of jokes on it.
Ah, okay.
All the countries I'm banned from, yes.
Wait, just a sec. I just realized that I don't have your name in the title. Just a sec, because I was... how do I tag you.
I think you just at them.
With,
Like,
yeah,
just
with
yeah.
at. Skating monks. There we go. There we go. Done. Thank you, Mathronel, for the resub, by the way.
Hmm.
As a mod of monk, I get complaints from embassies on a
Yeah,
daily
that's
basis.
I still need to do my 1K stream actually, Wicca, so I've not done the joke yet. Oh yeah, here they are. My mods are coming in now.
Hello, Nick Leo. Thank you for the follow.
Oh god, it's the clue.
So they have like the different countries' embassies calling you like, this particular person has said this thing against our country.
They made a joke about the terrible things that we did. And it's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Perhaps, maybe, don't do terrible things and I won't make jokes about it.
Exactly right. Okay. Yeah.
Niclue's quite an interesting one because she's like I'm not sure if you've ever seen Niclue, but she kind of looks like a female Sasquatch.
What?
Like, it's mostly the body hair and the beard that kind of gets you.
A female.
That's what I mean by like the rinsing. Like it's all done in good fun. But
Okay, so that means I'm gonna take whatever it is that you say about your mods with a grain of salt, yeah?
anybody in the UMC and any of my mods, yeah,
Okay.
they basically take what I say with a grain of salt. Like some of the stuff that I say like to Fulms and the other girls is borderline, like on the line. If we weren't friends, it would not be acceptable. There'd be like 7 twit longers written about what I said and stuff.
7 bit longest. China's embassy sent me 5 pages about how nothing happened in 1980. Okay, 6 feet 5 inches tall. What? That's very tall. Is that your actual height?
That's my actual height.
Bro. And no one has actually seen. So indeed, like a mythical creature.
It's not entirely true. People have snapped pictures of me like creeping through the forest trying to
Creeping
steal
through the
biscuits.
Okay. So, have you, since we were mentioning about your mods and your friends as well, do you have like any immediate IRL close personal circle who know about your VTubing?
Literally everybody. I don't tell people that I work with, just because, like, obviously work life and personal life I like to keep a bit more separate. But yeah, no, but kind of everybody knows. My family know, and
That's good.
a lot of my family now know because of the Christmas song. So, because obviously once that got out
the
on the
baby
internet,
it's
it got
cold
passed around.
outside thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised Mexico hasn't banned Monk yet, given all the times he's threatened to deport. Thank you for the follow, Wickern.
Yes. Yeah, my mum came on stream one time, and I was like, "You're gonna sub to me, you cheap bitch," and she was like, "You're not worth paying £5 for subscription." I was like, "Damn."
Well,
Roasted.
at least we now know where you're getting your humor from, right? I mean,
Yeah, no,
if your
100%.
mom can roast you like that, then yeah, we probably know where you get your humor from then.
Oh yeah, my Christmas dinners are ruthless. It's just one long like fight.
But that's how you show affection towards each other, no? I mean, I think there are families that are like that. Like,
yeah, like it's very much, I think, a British thing, where the more abuse you get off somebody, the more that like the closer you are.
yeah,
to them.
the closer you are, because the more comfortable you are with each other.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the fat acceptance movement hasn't attacked me and Monk yet, considering how many. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the jokes about Armando, yeah.
Is a legal U.S. citizen who was born there, so you can't deport him. And yet his name is Trump deported me.
Yeah, exactly. The jokes just write themselves. My favorite thing about the Armando's name is that every time he's had to message tech support, he had to message Xbox tech support one time, and the person was like, "Oh my god, I really hope you didn't get deported." It's great.
Okay. So it's good then that your family is, or your IRL, personal circle are aware of your activities, because not a lot of people actually have that privilege as well, because like their family is not as accepting in terms of the activity that they choose to pursue on the internet, so yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like it's I think it's a bit more of a Western versus Eastern sort of thing. I think a lot of it's like not to give the stereotype, but like obviously the whole like, hey, are you doctor yet? And all that sort of shit. Like,
Yes, exactly. I know what you mean.
they're less like accepting towards like various different
These
things.
types of pursuits.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were not a VTuber, would you be open to face cam being a flesh tuber? I don't know. I don't think that's a good word to use, but face cam streaming. Let's just put it that way.
A skinwalker. Yeah, I'd be a skinwalker, 100%. No, I actually used to do face cam streams way back when. I think I've unlisted them all now because I just kind of like went full on the VTuber sort of thing. Yeah, but I used to do facecam streams and facecam videos on YouTube. Like we're talking maybe like 10 years ago. I did it as kind of like a little side hobby thing, and then like this whole getting back into streaming and VTubing and stuff was kind of like I actually really enjoy doing this kind of stuff.
Okay. So, what were some of the favorite and least favorite things that you've come to realize when you became a VTuber? First, we start with the favorite things.
Favorite things, I suppose, is obviously meeting my group and forming a nice little band of VTubers and bringing them under my banner was good. A lot of the good laughs I've had through the medium, if you will. Seeing all the big anime boobies, that's a top one as well. We do like a fat pair of anime boobies. There's been a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have expected myself to do through the medium as well. Like if you'd have told me I'd done a duet with like a woman from the Philippines about 5 years ago, I'd have been like, "What are you smoking? Like, are you nuts?" But so a lot of like how experimental and how like sort of stuff I've got.
So it's like things that are out of your comfort zone or something that you did not really expect you'd be doing.
Yeah, I didn't realize till I was stood in a recording studio actually having to like sing in front of people. I was like, oh my god! Like I was actually like, I'm not really a nervous guy, but even then I could feel like my legs sort of like trembling a bit, and I was sort of like, oh okay, this is like something that's uncomfortable.
You just realize that standing in front of IRL people looking at you, judging your performance is a lot different than when you were sitting in front of a computer and be represented by an avatar.
That's it. Like you're actually there in person and stuff, and it's like, you're doing something. I was like, oh yeah, I can sing in front of people, but then it came to it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually kind of nervous about singing in front of people. But it took like 1 or 2 takes, and I could hear in the takes that my voice was a little bit wavy, and I sort of like shook it off and got on with the actual singing, which was then I think the 3rd take was the one we used for the actual video. So,
because that time you were more comfortable and your voice reflected that.
That was it, and it's hard because obviously, baby, it's cold outside. It's a confident guy sort of thing.
Well, I mean, it's cold outside, so maybe your voice should be wavering a little bit.
Yeah, but no, obviously the point is he's trying to get her to stay over for the night.
Yeah.
And such, so it requires a bit more confidence in that.
Yeah,
it doesn't really help if you're nervous about the fact that you're singing.
Okay. So, how about the things that you don't like?
Where?
The least favorite things that you...
Everybody who tweets about fucking shit on Twitter. That's the thing that annoys me the most.
Yeah, like, Twitter gives you like conniptions and makes you wanna,
Twitter makes me want to go on a rampage. Like,
right?
Half the people I see on Twitter just make me want to like slap them round the face. Like a lot of it is I just people that need to like, I don't know. It's weird. If I see stuff I don't like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just kind of get rid of these posts. Or like, don't show me posts like this because I don't really want to see like weird stuff. Whenever I get like cringy Valorant e-daters or whatever the fuck, like, just all that weird stuff. But it's a lot of it, I think, is the VTuber side of things. Is that people that don't really know how to handle attention, like, therefore just going absolutely fucking balls to the wall crazy with it, and like feeling the need that every single one of their opinions needs to be heard. And I'm like, no one gives a shit. Like,
yeah, I've always imagined Twitter as like this big open space where everybody's standing in a soapbox and they're all shouting whatever it is that they're thinking of, their opinions and stuff, and yet everyone else is on a different soapbox, so naturally, like, your voice just sort of get lost in translation, and then others will shout back at you on their other soapboxes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, an accurate thing I saw once. It was a meme for Twitter where it was like someone could post "I like waffles" and then there'd be like 7 people being like, "What? So you hate pancakes?"
Yeah,
like, no. I'm just like, no. I just like.
I saw that meme as well. Right, like everything can be misunderstood.
Another thing as well is it's the like the people that decide to get like really heavy with stuff on like, and it's like I like to shitpost a lot, and like a lot of my whole content output and stuff is based around humor rather than anything like serious. But like you'll get people like that, but then they'll post this long-winded like political thing about why you should do this in the next election, and I'm like, you are a fucking anime girl. I'm not paying attention to what you have to say. Like, fuck off. It's like when Ben and Jerry's tries to tell you about like all these different injustices in the world, and I'm like, my brother in Christ, you are ice cream. Shut the fuck up. Stay in your lane. Just make tasty goddamn ice cream. Like like people get way too personal, especially in not just in that. Actually, Nicole brings up a really good point with the affair thing. People will just drop the fact that like, oh, my wife of 17 years was cheating on me, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, dude, like, keep that shit personal. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. I think for me, like, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but the problem with the one that I find a problem with is when they start to impose that opinion on others. Like, sure, go ahead and say whatever you want, but don't impose that opinion on me, because you're not the boss of me, and don't try to impose whatever it is that you believe in onto others. That's when it becomes a problem for me.
My favorite one, if you'll permit me to be a little bit crass, but
Go ahead.
Is that opinions are like genitals. Like, everybody has them, but it doesn't mean you need to go shoving them in people's faces if they don't want to hear or see them.
Well, that's a really graphic way of putting it, but yes, it's accurate nonetheless.
Told you, I'm straight to the point. I'm just like, no brass tacks, no messing around. We're straight to the point here. Like,
it's straight to the point. Yes, a very graphic point at that.
Yeah. Armando makes a good point as well with like trauma dumping and political shouting matches. I'm like, dude, I'm here to have fun. Like, it's a weird one because I've had a couple people trauma dump before, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm playing a fucking video game. Like,
yeah, because most often than not,
know.
Yeah, go ahead.
When people come in the chat and like, oh, my fucking things died and I'm at the end of my rope and want to fucking jump off a building, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, I'm just playing Tarkov. Like, well, you need to chill with that shit. Go speak to a specialist. Why? I'm not your therapist. I'm the last person you want fucking therapy advice from. I'm unhinged, my dude. Like,
yeah, you don't want advice from me. Something like that.
Yeah, like, fucking look at where I am in life. You want advice from me, dude? What?
Yeah, because more often than not, people go to Twitch as a sort of like an escapism, like when they wish to forget about the IRL stuff.
Yeah, escapism. Yeah.
So if
I can see that with the VTuber space as well, because obviously, like, people kind of, I think it's the same with like viewers and of like people themselves, but they kind of put themselves into their avatars a bit, and they kind of they what's the right way of phrasing this? They become a bit too like attached. I think that's why trauma dumping and everything is like.
And you mean the parasocial relationship thing?
Yeah, like people go a bit too hardcore on it, and it's sort of like, and a lot of the time it's like there's other things as well where they go a bit too. They're a bit too in character. Like I've worked with some artists before, and I've just asked them like a simple question, like, "Oh, hey, would you be able to do artwork that depicts this particular thing, or like, how are you with drawing weapons?" And rather than a simple like,
Yes
no,
or
I don't.
no?
I'm not really comfortable drawing weapons. It's like, oh no, Desu Onichan 562 does not feel comfortable around the weapons. They are scary. Ooh. And so be like 5 faces. I'm just like, just tell me fucking no, for fuck's sake. You don't have to do all this shit. We are just in a
They're
private
way too in the
Twitter DM.
character, like even in DMs
Yeah.
and something like that.
And I'm like, dude, just chill the fuck out. Just tell me yes or no. Like, I'm trying to pay you money to do something. Like, for fuck's sake.
Okay, well, I have not had that experience yet, and I'm glad that I have not yet.
Yeah.
And that I hope that I don't encounter that sort of thing where they're way into their like even off cam, I suppose. I don't know if that's the right word to use. That they are totally not into their persona. That they forget that they're actual people, and not like a cat demon, whatever that they are on stream.
Yeah, like fair play if you're doing a bit for the camera, that's completely fine. Like I understand that. You doing your bit, that's your whole brand. Fair play to you. But like once the camera's off, you're into, and like I suppose maybe even to some degree like fan interactions and stuff. Like you're talking with your own chat and stuff. You can stay in character for that, but like
yes.
a setting where like I'm trying to pay you money to do something for me, like will you just fucking talk like
Yeah,
a
it's a business transaction now and should be handled in such a way. Do you get paid for VTubing? Much like any other streamer, actually. Viper. Just like any other streamer, you stream, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms, and they get monetized, and that is how VTubers also work.
Yeah, I usually hit payout. I don't really struggle with it. I could tell you a funny story, actually. I finessed Facebook out of $300 once.
What do you mean finessed Facebook?
So basically, we used to stream on Facebook.
Yes.
When we left to join Twitch with the rest of the group, they started desperately trying to get streamers to come back and stream on Facebook. And they were like, oh, if you come back and get enough people to get into the Level Up program, which is their version of affiliate, we'll give you $100, and we'll give you an extra $200 if you stream for like 4 or 5 plus hours. And and basically, I went on to the stream. I booted up a stream.
Okay.
And I left Eggman breakdancing, and the stream was called I Am the Eggman, and I just went for like a 5-hour nap while I left it on. And then woke up and they'd sent me $300 in my. And I was like, I literally just left a fucking video of Eggman dancing to anime music for like 5 hours on the screen.
Okay, let's hope Facebook Gaming isn't watching this, secretly.
I'll rob you again. Don't think I will.
You really did choose the right term, finessing.
Yeah, it was an absolute finesse. It was the great Facebook heist.
Oh my god. Being professional in commissions is a must for me. Yeah, exactly. You're no longer your VTuber character. You are entering into a business transaction, and you must be professional as well. So that is something I think that a lot of people seem to forget, which is why there are a lot of twit-longers in Twitter regarding, artists and their commissioners going on, ghosting each other.
That is the one thing I don't mind with Twitlanders, like people, like just warnings about people being unprofessional. Like,
Bitsticus
you know,
Skating
that is
Monk
fine
sounds
because
like a
obviously
pretty cool
from a
dude,
business
and I wouldn't
perspective, you
mind
kind of want
listening
to
to
know.
Eggman Gaming.
Oh.
5 hours long form ASMR while doing push-ups. Also, the vampire lady is alright too, I guess.
That's it.
Hello, hopeless salary man. I hope that you have not spent your 100, remaining salary on those 100 bits,
That's it.
You need to know where you are the character and when you are like yourself. Yeah, exactly. And when dealing with commissions and business transactions, you definitely have to be yourself and be professional about it.
Yeah, like I'm very straight to the point. I'm like, especially like, I worked on a lot of art projects and a lot of video projects for people. Especially Cheese, my editor and stuff. Like I joke around when it's the group. Like I say, I've got him locked up and I'm beating him until the edits are out. But like when he sends me an edit, I'm not happy with it. I'm like, yeah, you need to change this, and this, and it's fine. Or like, or the opposite, where he sends me a good edit, and I'm like, yeah, that's a really good idea, nice one. Like I wouldn't, but then I don't play a character. I'm just being me.
Being yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but like I would imagine if you had to work with, I've heard horror stories from other editors that I've worked with that are similar, the same, like. Or they're a bit weird about things, but...
Okay, here's a question
naming
from Sir Zod. Where do you expect to be in the midterm future, or where you would like to be? Like somewhere maybe like two or 1 year from now, maybe?
With streaming or with like just life in general? Like
Most likely he means streaming. Most likely he means streaming.
Streaming, like I don't think I'd ever do it as a full-time career. I think I would always just have like a side thing.
Yeah, like
I
a
like the
hobby sort of
idea.
thing.
Yeah, I could see myself doing the VTuber thing for a good few years, yeah. I think I'd eventually move on to being like it depends on how well it was going, like to justify whether or not I'd keep doing it. So I don't think, I think if I ever did it, like, and it was to the level where it could be professional, I still think I would work like a part-time job for like consistency, because it's the people that do it kind of, I don't know, it's a weird one, because I just think of it like in such a logical sort of sense where I'm like, imagine going to the bank and trying to get a mortgage for a house and being like, oh, so how's your income? Oh, I'm
right, explaining where you're getting your income. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, they're all about the
like your source of income is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, my
and then
source
they'll
of
be
income
denying your mortgage application. Gee.
It's like my source of income depends whether or not people want to subscribe to me that month, which depends on how well I've been streaming and the type of content that I put out, and like, if people feel generous enough to throw bits at me that week and stuff.
Well, that would not be a problem if the banker you're facing is also somebody who's already familiar with, the new ways. Yeah. Problem is if you're facing an older generation who is more familiar with actual IRL type of jobs.
Well, not only that, but it's also the case of like, you're explaining to them that your income isn't like consistent. Like you could have a really bad week and no one subscribes to you. Like that's the sort of stuff that they go over. Like you would have to drop the cash immediately, but yeah, I like the fact that my mother's like Operation Cat Flap in the bunker in Texas. They basically say because I want to. If I ever made it as a streamer, I would buy a bunker in Texas and turn it into like a stream hub, and then I would like import all of the cat girls of the Philippines across to this bunker in Texas, and I would live there with a lot of guns, and we'd just stream and goof around all day.
Well, you better make sure that you have good internet there if that is the case.
That'd be like primary concern number one.
Right? Number one concern. More than food and water.
Yeah.
Is the internet.
Get the internet first. They can eat when they stream. Okay. Want you to get surges against the IRS.
It was still better than
take my
full
tax
money,
money if it's all in gold. That's true. Anything's better than full money. Mine's not been too much better, to be fair, recently. Mine's been fucking terrible.
Don't forget Armando tokens.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you probably noticed as well that, with people realizing that they can use an avatar to stream, there has been a boom with VTubers, a VTuber boom, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of VTubers cropping up here and there What are your plans, or do you have any plans to distinguish yourself from the rest of those, other VTubers and catboys and tactical VTubers out there?
I think there's been a lot of tactical VTubers recently, actually, to be fair. I'm kind of like a set in my ways person, so like once I'm happy with something, I kind of just like don't really long for anything else. But I think it's I'll probably get some model changes. I'm quite happy with the 2D model at the moment, and it's not really like fully completed yet. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
obviously I need to get the iPhone to get like the better tracking and stuff like that, and I need to like properly figure out how to get some. I'll probably get some more rigging done for it. Maybe like another tack outfit, maybe with like a rifle or something. I'm kind of, as far as the sort of separating yourself thing, it's a bit interesting because like a lot of the games I play, I don't see very many VTubers playing. So like a lot of the tactical stuff, especially, like I've seen a few VTubers cropping into Tarkov and such recently. I can see like 3 on my feed now. Some of the VTuber Tarkov like streamers that I've been following, but like a lot of them are sort of like your Valorant and stuff like that. Valorant, Genshin, Honkai, VR chat and such. Like they're very much the standard sort of stuff. Apex Legends, I think, is becoming like the new VTuber game as well. I see a lot of VTubers playing that. But like as far as like Arma 3 and like Tarkov, Ready or Not, Squad, Ground Branch, GTA, you do see a few VTubers play. I like modding games as well, like to make them chaotic as anything. Like I quite like the Chaos mod and the Cursed Halo and stuff like that. So I don't really see many people playing them either.
How about games with waifus for the VTuber one?
Yeah, like they're not really my type of game, so I would just be lost playing them. Like everyone was shocked to see me streaming Tears of the Kingdom the other day. 'Cause they were like,
Right, exactly.
Like, well, where are the guns? And I'm like, I haven't found them yet.
Well, since we're talking about games now, what was the first game that you got into? Like, we're going back into the past now.
You trying to say I'm old? Like my first ever game that I got like properly into.
Yes. Like, perhaps it can be like the most memorable game, I guess, for you that you can remember playing. Something like
So there's
that.
like there's a couple that come to mind actually. There's one that's kind of the origin of my name. There's one that's kind of the origin of my group, and then there's one that I just sort of I feel like I sank the most hours into in general. So I'll cover 3 like in very brief detail. But the first one was RuneScape, which was my first very online game, and I wanted to be called Skating Monkey, like as in like, but that name was already taken, so I had to cut it off and shorten it. So I made it Skating Monk, and then made my character look like a monk priest.
Okay.
And then I think the first proper like MMO sort of anime style one was a game called Endless Online, which I played for ages, and that was where the UMC came from. And I was about maybe 10, 12, and I became the leader of the group because we all moved across from that game when the servers went down. I wasn't even the original leader of the UMC. It was some girl that had to move to Japan, and there was no servers in Japan. So I took over as leader, and then we all kind of went across to play Xbox because Halo 2 came out and it had multiplayer. So then Halo 2 was kind of like the one that I think I spent the most time on.
Okay, so those were the 3 like memorable
most prominent
games.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there like, from any of those games, was there like a character that really stuck to you? It doesn't have to be like a character that you made. It could be like, I don't know, like an NPC perhaps that you find most memorable in one of the video games that you played.
I'm a big fan of the Master Chief, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. From Halo, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that character's been like probably the one character that I've I knew that was coming. Yeah, no, I'm a big Halo fan. I think how much I fell down the Halo rabbit hole was intense because I got the games, I have all the books, I have like the comics and stuff like that. Everything else, every meal has to be Master
Everybody wants
Chief.
to
Yeah,
be
exactly.
Master Chief.
Honestly, you're not wrong. Like, I dated
Okay.
a cosplay girl and she promised to make me a full Master Chief set, and then I messaged her recently like, "Can you still make me that Master Chief set?" And she's like, "I don't really do it anymore." And I'm like,
Aw, sad.
"Try to go to con as Master Chief."
Well, you may not be able to do that with, with a cosplay character. Perhaps it can be done in your model, like have an
That's not
outfit
a bad one. Master
drawn for
Chief
you.
outfit.
Yeah, drawn for your model, and like a toggle that you can put on, and you can be
Oh, probably an asset for it out there somewhere.
yes, something
I
like
quite
that.
like my little Legend of Zelda outfit that I had on. the
Yeah,
other day.
that's the one. I think there was a hoodie or something. Yeah.
The hood and the Master
Mm.
Sword and everything.
Ah,
and
the sword.
tunic
Yes,
and
yes.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so currently, what are some of the game, or rather, what are the games that you are playing, like currently? Yeah, currently. Yes.
Currently on stream, as far as my channel's concerned, I
Mm.
play a lot of, obviously, Tarkov, Armor, they're my main ones. Destiny 2 is another one. I think what we played recently. Obviously, I've been playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, sorry,
Mm.
as well recently. A bit obsessed with that one. I've been trying to get a bit more creative recently. To be fair, I've been trying to play stuff that's out of my comfort zone. That's why
Ah,
I
so
said
like
Tears of the Kingdom.
changing genres or something like that.
Yeah, still sort of doing like consistent sort of tactical shooter stuff, like a lot of gunplay and everything.
Mm.
But more sort of trying out different sorts of games. Like I played Cult of the Lamb the other day, and that was quite fun. Just 'cause I got
Yeah,
to
that's
abuse
also
my
another game I
followers.
want to try. The Cult of the Lamb. Yeah, yeah.
It's quite good fun. I like feeding my followers poo and stuff like that, and abusing them and sacrificing them when they got out of line.
Sacrifice.
Like so.
Yes, I like the sound of that. Sacrifice.
So yeah, and then there's a lot of like more Twitch and like a lot of the stuff I've been trying to do more of is stuff that requires Twitch integration. So like, I think you've seen a couple of the Chaos Mod streams where like you vote for it and then like something weird will happen, like it'll rain whales or like I'll randomly set on fire and stuff like that. I like that kind of integration stuff.
If you didn't need to grind for the battle pass, you left for the end. I know, Sir Zont, I know.
Is that for Destiny? Or?
Yeah, for Destiny Season Pass and for the COD Battle Pass. So I have two different things that I need to grind for, and they're ending very, very soon.
COD I've kind of like stepped away from a bit. I was playing it a lot when it first came out, but a lot of the DMZ stuff is now pay to win, and it's kind of like, oh, if you buy this character, you start with a better armor, or you
better
start with
armor, or
self-revive.
the extra slot for something, or so yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I don't like that. That's scummy. It kind of breaks the game a bit.
I've just been playing 24/7 shipment now in COD.
Yeah,
It's just
like,
pure
stuff like that's really fun.
absolute chaos in shipment. Like, you spawn and then you just die immediately.
Yeah, but like, no, games at the moment, I'm like sort of mostly your tactical shooters, like your Armors, your Tarkov. Occasional mix it up streams like with Zelda, and then a lot of it's also like Twitch integration and sort of. I want to do more VR stuff, but VR streaming is like very complicated, especially when you want to do like the body tracking and stuff. It takes a lot
Yeah,
of
the
time
full
to
body
set
mocap. Yeah.
up. Yeah, I'm kind of in like, well, I'm at a new job, so I'm kind of like, a lot of the time I'm sort of just trying to get used to everything, and I've got like all this stuff to do for it. So I'm kind of like guerrilla streaming currently. I think once I settle into it a bit more, I'll probably get more back on schedule and can plan VR streams. But VR chat's really fun. I want to do more VR chat streams. I think a lot of my favorite clips are from VR chat.
So you plan to get like a a 3D model somewhere in the future? Not the V-Ride one, but commission a 3D model that looks still
already
like
have
your current
one.
model. Ah.
Yeah, I've already got one. Yeah. I think it's on my my channel trailer. Let me see if I can find it for you.
Okay.
Oh,
Battle
actually, I can probably send you a
passes
picture of
make
it.
games feel like a job. Yeah, for sure.
They do, yeah. You have
It
to grind them
does.
out, and it's just stressful sometimes. I
It
hate it.
becomes something that is stressful instead of something that is enjoyable. But the feeling is there, like you put so much into this that you don't want to waste it, unless of course you have
Yeah.
the income to like, I'm just gonna buy myself out of this or something like that. But if you don't, then it sort of feels wasteful if you don't complete it. So there is that feeling.
There you go. I have a 3D version of the said model.
Okay. Wait, let me just.
So I use that for sometimes for mocap, or I use the original model for mocap. Just depends. That one's still a bit temperamental
Temperament.
as far as yeah. Sometimes it has like very strange sort of mannerisms. Sometimes it doesn't really like go across too well to
Well, I hope you haven't gotten in trouble with those strange mannerisms.
No, nothing like TOS breaking. More just like
Okay,
it
all right,
looks.
that's good.
It doesn't quite copy the movements as well as I'd like them to. So the original model does a lot better of a job, which is why I sort of flux between the three. Any sort of games that I'm obviously playing at my desk and stuff, you'll see this model. But occasionally, if I mix it up and do a 3D one, it's because there's a gimmick or something that's attached to it.
I see. When you don't feel like playing a game, but you have to, otherwise those skins are gone forever.
Yeah, it's the
Exactly.
fucking FOMO shit. I hate that. Like if you don't get it, you're gonna miss out, and you'll never get it again.
That's
and
what
stuff,
they're
and it's like,
banking
no.
on. The fear of
Yeah.
missing out. The companies are banking on that feeling of people to make them come back for more.
It is like I don't like it. It's very scummy.
It is. It's very, like underhanded and just plain greedy.
I don't mind. I forgive Destiny for it a bit because each season's kind of like a contained story, and I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'm paying for a little bit of extra story to like play over the weeks. And to be honest, I never really struggle with the Destiny one because I run a raid every week at the moment, like about 1 or 2 raids a week, and I basically like doing raids on their own just gets you so much like further in the battle pass, and you can kind of get the battle pass by doing anything.
Okay.
Whereas like COD, you kind of have to do like specific things to get up in the battle pass. You can't just play the game and go through it.
I think it's similar to what Sarazan is saying. I still prefer the battle pass of Warframe. You can complete it nearly without knowing. So I think that's a good battle pass if you're able to complete it without even realizing that you've completed it. That means you're enjoying the game a lot more than just thinking about whether or not the battle pass has been completed.
That's it. I think with COD, I always felt like I was grinding to get the battle pass, whereas in Destiny, I didn't really like think about the battle pass until I checked it, and I was like, oh, I'm already level 70 in the battle pass. Like,
okay.
If I do a few more raids, I'll be flying up there. So yeah, like I think I'm like level 100 and something now in the battle pass on Destiny,
Nice.
and I don't really play it that much. Like I said, I only get on to do the weekly raids
To the
for my group.
weekly raid,
Yeah.
Once Fortnite started that free game pay for skins and battle pass thing, it kind of ruined most games. I wonder who started the battle pass thing.
Yeah.
Companies are thanking them, but I want to shoot them, to be honest.
It was EA, I'm pretty sure. They started with the whole Star Wars Battlefront stuff, and they all like I think that's where it all started. It was like loot boxes, and then sort of now it's battle passes. Like loot box, I think Overwatch and that were the prime offenders.
Yeah, I mean, like Diablo before, it was just a full-on game that you complete, and now they're planning to introduce a battle pass or a season pass with Diablo 4, and I'm like, oh shit, no.
EA Sports, what a shame.
I'd much rather pay $60 for a full game and then grind out for cosmetics, not have to pay for each individual skin and emote.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Okay, we're gonna go a little bit more of a dive into, since you are a tactical VTuber and most the games that you play are shooter games. So, do you have like a go-to weapon when it comes to the shooter games that you play? Like, I don't know, it can be a sniper rifle, a shotgun, something.
Depending on the scenario, I suppose it depends. I think my go-to weapon on most of those games is always an M4A1 that's like customized in some degree.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the weapon you'll find me using the most. Yeah, the M4A1 with I usually stick a grenade launcher on it. I'm usually doing some sort of explosives in those particular roles as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I usually have like either a long, medium to low range sight, or I'll like have a canted sight with a red dot or something.
So you're an AR
Um,
person as well, with very specific
yeah,
like.
I like it's a good carbine rifle. I used to be about the G36, but I've gone off the G36 a bit more recently. I've been fired an M4A1 and fired a G3 6 and the G36C. I more prefer the M4A1. I just like the feel of it. It just feels light. It's robust. It's nice. Pistol, gotta be my P226, which is the 6-hour. It's the same pistol the Navy SEALs use, and I quite like that one as well. My gear choices seem to be very American. Like,
Okay.
Sniper rifles as well. I like a good sniper.
AK
Usually
is
high
greater
caliber.
than M4.
AK, yeah, I mean, it depends what you're playing. If you have to worry about jamming and stuff like that, and then, yeah, no, definitely go with the AK, because that thing will just take abuse. And still function. Like, it's a durable thing. But, yeah, for sniper rifles, I like high caliber as low caliber. So, 50 cals, like 308, something nasty. If I'm going to use a sniper rifle, I want to punch a hole in something, like, whatever I'm hitting. So...
Okay, so yeah, I paid like 60 pounds for COD purely for multiplayer, and then I gotta pay more for other things. What the fuck, when most games now are free and have that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you drop some cash, you're gonna look like the default skin and default emo.
There's something satisfying about default emoting on someone though. Like that's why I still keep that one on Fortnite for when I just shit on people and just do the default dance.
You pretend like a bot or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you are fond of video games as well, is there any type of game that you would like to see out there that you have not seen being done yet? Like I don't know, either a genre or a story type of game that you would like to see be released.
Tactical horror.
Tactical horror. Okay.
I like the I'm not sure if you've ever seen it, but there's an SCP movie, like a fan film called Overlord, and it's like a combination of like horror elements, but like it's about a squad of like operators basically going in to secure like this cult that's all creepy and stuff. So like, and a lot of the armor missions I've really enjoyed doing with like friends are all horror sort of centric ones, because Armor's got a lot of really good mods, and there was a couple we've played where there've been like creepy elements to it, like ghosts or shadow people, or like just monsters that'll rip your head off and stuff like that. And it made me think that the genre, like tactical's already quite a tense genre, like.
So you want to up the tension.
Yeah, but like add a bit of fear to it, like. Usually, like when you're in a firefight in a tactical shooter like DayZ or Tarkov, you're like you're already like your heart's racing. You're like
yes, you know, for sure.
The guns are loud. It's very like intense. Like if you make a bad decision, you're gonna lose everything type stuff. And like adding that pressure and then adding more to it, I think would be good. I quite like the idea of like something like a horrifying entity that you just couldn't deal with at the time and such.
Okay. So tactical horror is a type of game that you would like to see there being more of released out into the world.
Yeah. I've played like the SCP Containment Breach and stuff, and like moved as a team and stuff like that with it. And like stuff like Ready or Not can be quite intense as well, like where you've got like people running at you with knives around corners and stuff like that, or just like the sudden calm to like absolute gunfire. I think that would lend itself really well to a horror setting. Yeah, Stalker's another good example, actually. Stalker's a really good example of tactical horror.
Nothing raises the blood pressure more than hearing 10 or left in Warzone.
Yeah, that's it. I like that. I like that rush. I like the
The
intensity of
adrenaline
it.
rush of knowing
Yeah.
that you are going to be encountering, just you're almost at the end of the game and you're just trying not to die.
Yeah, like Tarkov and stuff like that. I like the way that you kind of like you still sort of nothing's happening, but you're still alert and you're still looking around. You still same with DayZ. Like
Mm,
you could go on a simple food run in DayZ, but you're still scanning every like hillside, every window and stuff like that, looking for someone that's going to try and take a shot off at
take
you.
a shot. Yeah. Okay.
And there's like a level of immersion to them as well. Like what I quite like about especially like DayZ and stuff is that you're so immersed in it that you know something's wrong before something wrong actually happens. Like something will just seem off, and then you'll realize that
Oh.
there's a person like watching you on a hillside and stuff.
I've never had that feeling
Yeah.
before because, my immersion in terms of, PvP aspects in game is like zero, zilch. But I admire
Yeah.
people who are able to like sense that, like even if they're playing a video game that they would still be able to sense like, okay, we're in deep duty right here right now. There's some people around us, something like that.
We played DayZ so much that I could tell when people were nearby from the fact that the birds would stop chirping, or there was like certain bush sounds that like sounded like
So
people
you
were
become
rustling
aware
through
of
it.
your surroundings a lot more.
Yeah, it gives you like it almost like you have to rely on your senses a lot more.
Okay. Hunt Showdown is one that's a bit popular. What is
I
Hunt
quite like
Showdown?
Hunt's fun. Hunt's kind of like Wild West spooky Tarkov, like is the best way of describing
Oh,
it.
it's also an extraction type of game? Extraction shooter?
Kind of. You don't really extract anything. You kind of go in, hunt for a monster, but there's other players roaming around.
Ah, okay.
You can shoot them. It's all very Western themed, but like you make money from doing the hunts. But if you buy guns from the store, and then you can take the guns in. But if you die, you lose the guns and the character. So you
Ah.
can level up. Escape from Saint Denis. Yeah, basically. So it's a bit more different. Whereas Tarkov, you kind of go into the world to loot things and then extract them. But you can still buy stuff from the store as well. But you can also get like, old Tetris pieces or like hard drive computer parts that you can sell, or you can get like weapon attachments and other stuff that you can sell to buy stuff. But
It's all
a
very
lot of the
like
stuff-
realistic somehow. The fact that you can
Yeah.
find all these random things in game and then you can sell them.
Yeah, like a lot of the money I make on Tarkov, I think, is mostly just roaming around, getting in computers and sort of looking for like CPUs and stuff like that, and robbing the supermarket, like, or the mall level.
Yeah.
Is one that I go on a lot because there's a lot of like really good knickknacks that you can sell for money.
The loot goblin in me is like drooling at the prospect of that, because
Yeah.
I tend to do a lot of looting. In games that I play, I do a lot of looting, sometimes to the detriment of the team, because I loot too much. Too much.
Yeah, Tarkov you'll enjoy because like you've got a very like Tetrisy inventory system with like squares that you can occupy with certain items, and then you kind of have to like pick your loot quite carefully because the more you loot, the heavier you'll be, and the more noise you'll make, and that kind of stuff. There's a lot
Okay,
of stuff that you
really?
think
So
about.
it'll also produce noise if your backpack is full?
Depending on how much weight you've got on you. Like if you've got a backpack full of like pillows, it's not going to do much. But if you've got like
okay.
a backpack full of like heavy equipment and stuff, your character's footsteps are louder.
Oh, that's so
It's harder
cool.
to stay quiet. You get more like bag ruffling when you like move around and stuff.
Yeah, like a heavy backpack that has stuff like jingling around.
Yeah. So you'll be louder, and your footsteps will be
I
louder
see, I
and
see.
such. So there's
mean,
like a
this-
lot of like balancing you have to kind of do in those games.
Okay. I mean, the Cycle Frontier is also good. I have tried that one as well. Have you tried Cycle Frontier, by the way, Monkey?
I was recommended it. I downloaded it, and then I never played it. I never got around to it. I was so hooked on Tarkov and Armor at the time. I was kind of like, what was it doing again?
So it just sat in your library. Is it still in your library or no?
It's not. I uninstalled it because I
Okay.
didn't make room for stuff, unfortunately. But
She tends
it
to
did look
risk her
good.
own
I've
life
seen
for the
clips of
loot.
it, like sci-fi Tarkov-y, but a bit more arcadey. It looked like.
Yeah. Hello,
I like that
Metabags.
about the genre as well, the
Mm.
tactical genre. I think that's another thing I quite like about it, is that you kind of have to do prep. Like, it is very easy for like people that are new to it to go in and realize that none of their magazines have bullets in them and stuff like that. You've got to actually like check your gear before you go in and all that kind of stuff. It's a weird skill you have to learn, like especially like like DayZ was probably my first one for that sort of stuff where I was like, before I went out, I would be checking my equipment, checking the durability of all my stuff. If my weapon needs cleaning, I'd clean it. If my magazines needed reloading, I would put more bullets in them
Wait,
and stuff
you
like
need
that.
to clean your guns as well?
In Tarkov, there's a repair system. Yeah. So if your
Oh, so your
your
guns
guns,
also like degrade or something like that.
yeah, the more you use them and how you use them. If you go full auto and like
Oh.
overheat your barrel and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it'll degrade faster. And then if you use it too like aggressively, you can get weapon jams, and then you've got to like rack the round and sort of clear the jam and all the rest of it. I've had a few
Oh.
instances where I've gone in with like a really cheap shotgun and it's just jammed on me because the shells got caught in it, and it's basically just cost me my life. Like,
Wait, did it explode in your face? Can you get friendly
no,
fire
no,
from your own gun or
I'm not actually sure. I've never had a gun explode on me, but I had it where I popped out to shoot somebody with a shotgun, and then the round jammed, and I couldn't actually get the shot off. Or I've had ones where it's overheated the barrel, and because the barrel's overheated, it was firing off rounds because the barrel was so hot that it was igniting the gunpowder
Oh
in
my
the bullet and stuff like that. So I was firing rounds off without even needing to. So I had to like keep my gun like pointed, but it was also giving away my position because it
Yes,
was
because
cutting
you're
off
producing
rounds.
noise from the.
Yeah.
So that means
And obviously
basically
that jams the
you
barrel
need
as
to
well.
think about a lot of things when you're playing Tarkov or DayZ.
Yeah, and there's not indications of how much ammo you've got left. You kind of have to like make a mental note. Like if I'm in a shootout with somebody and I've just wasted two
What?
60-round magazines, like I need to know how much is in my other magazine and how much I've got left. And if I reload early, I've got to remember that one of my magazines has like 30 bullets like in it or something, as opposed to like 60 or. And it's like there's a lot of like mental notes you have to kind of keep
Yeah.
track
Oh
of.
no, I'm gonna die in this game. For sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. And you can also, because you just kind of grab a magazine,
Uh-huh.
you can also, I've had situations in the past where when I was getting used to it and just teaching other people tactical shooters, where they've fired about 20 rounds off on a 30-round magazine, they've reloaded to get a full magazine, and then in a crucial moment, they've reloaded that 10-round magazine back in, fired off 10 shots, and then realized that their
They
gun's
don't
got no
have any.
bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of checking and stuff like that you have to do,
Oh
especially
my
with like the tactical genre as well. Especially when you pick up a loot and ammo off a dead person, you don't know how many bullets they've got in the gun unless you actually pick it up and check.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. I'm
So like, you don't know how much is a magazine unless you inspect it and so on.
Okay. So, now we go to some not really IRL stuff, but do you have any other, like, hobbies aside from, gaming or streaming? Do you have any other stuff that you like to enjoy IRL, perhaps? Something like that?
Shooting, skateboarding. I used to do a lot of fighting. I used to do Muay Thai fights a lot.
Oh, okay.
A few years back. No, shooting I quite enjoy. I haven't had a chance to go recently. I think it's been a good few months since I last went shooting. I like to travel. Traveling's fun. I've been
Oh,
around.
okay.
I actually am planning a visit to the Philippines because I'm going to go say hello to everyone that I've met in my group and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing a little talk. I've not been to Asia yet. I've only really been like around America and Europe and stuff like that. Around
So
like
this will be the first time that you will visit an Asian country. Is that what you mean?
yeah, first time visiting an
Ah,
Asian country.
Okay. Moving on to another part of being a streamer, I suppose. Have you ever been or are you a mod in other people's channels or no?
I'm a mod, I think, in Shion's and a couple of other friends' channels. So I'm not really like a full mod. I just occasionally come in and like if there's trouble.
Okay.
If you're getting a DM from me in a chat, then you know you fucked up. Like,
Well, what
It's
are
just
your
occasionally, like-
favorite and least favorite things of being a mod across, across several channels? Do you have like things that you like doing or
I like
don't
kicking
like doing?
people.
Huh?
It's fun. I like kicking people. I like,
have you ever had to kick someone in any of the
a
channels
few
that you
people
mod
actually,
for?
yeah. Some creepy parasocial people and stuff. And those types of people, I've kicked a few of them.
Kicking
I think
people
there's,
IRL.
I wonder if I've got any of the like the leftover sort of chats actually. Hang on. Let's have a look.
I don't think it would be a fair fight, Nuclear, to have like a 6'5" guy kicking somebody, especially one who has experience in Muay Thai, because that involves a lot of kicking. So
Yeah, here it is. It is one. Hang on, let me just get a fucking print screen of this.
if you're a VTubers mod, you need to kick people.
Yeah,
Virtually,
like,
yes. Just not IRL, okay? It's like
I mean, I'll
Shaq
kick them
doing
IRL
kung
as well,
fu.
to be fair.
I mean, you do have it experience with you did Muay Thai, so I'm pretty sure you've had to kick people, but not like for just
My
for the
favorite
sake
part.
of fun or something.
I mean, I like kicking people. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, here's me modding for like Shion and like the parasocial people that have messaged. You can throw that up on screen if you choose to, but
Okay. All right. Are you
there
sending
you
a
go.
picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let me.
That is like a prime example of my like thing. Occasionally, I have to scare like parasocial people away and stuff.
I think that's something that we encounter as VTubers. There are a lot of of people who tend to lean towards parasocial relationships, and that is something that is fairly common, I guess, in the VTubing world. Wait, let me just
I think that's kind of the like the problem with the whole medium, and it's not only just on the fan side, but like the actual VTubers themselves. And I think a lot of them, I think a lot of the problems with like the controversial stuff, like all the people. Yeah, there you go. There's me modding in a nutshell. But
just don't be a weird something.
yeah, I forget that word's a lot worse outside the UK.
Yes.
Like, I call people I know, and like my
Yeah, I
friends
know
and
it's
family
sort of like
don't know.
I don't know what the term is, but it's something that is very common in Europe or in the British, I don't know,
Yeah,
in your
just
area.
literally in the UK and the Aussies, like
Yes, and the
yeah.
Aussie as well. But we sometimes tend to forget that across the outside of it, that's considered like a very severe, not very severe, but more like I don't know how to describe it. In the US, it's a death sentence to use that word.
Yeah, that's the one thing I realized when I was living over there was that I use that word a lot, and it is so very ingrained into my vernacular that people were like, "What? What do you call me?" And I was like, "I was saying, how are you, cunt?" What's up? And yeah, like a lot of it is very much. I mean, I think me and Nicole call each other it like all the time. So yeah, it's a weird one with that one, but no, as I was saying before, I think the parasocial stuff is like, I think a lot of the trouble as well. Like you have a lot of like misunderstandings with like VTubers and stuff, and like people sort of not understanding boundaries. And I think a lot of the problems with it is that a lot of the people who are like weeaboos and such like aren't really that like well versed in social shit. so they don't really know when they're crossing boundaries or pushing something too far because no one's really been around to sort of slap them around the face and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, calm down."
You call someone a... You're gonna get shot.
Yeah, basically. It was like I had to explain it to a few people that I was just like, it's an affectionate term, or like, it's almost endearing sometimes. It just depends on contextually how you use
Context matters. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Metamax, is the sound okay now? I forgot that I had to lower down the volume a little bit. I hope everything is a lot clearer now. Okay. It's good. Okay, that's good. So considering all of the kicking you've had to do virtually, was there ever like a time that you wanted to quit being a mod, like, as and just focus on just your own channel and not have to worry about dealing with parasocial stuff like that?
Nah. If I'm completely honest, I like scaring people away. It's fun. Like there's definitely the reason I got the dad moniker in my group, and it was very much because, like, if I get called in to deal with somebody, it's very much like it's a bit more of a upfront aggressive, hey, you need to stop being a fucking weirdo and piss off now, like, type thing. And yeah, because of it as well, it's given me quite a very intimidating reputation. Because there's been a few people that have met me for the first time, and they've been like, Shion was terrified of me when she first met me, only because she'd like heard the stories from the other girls.
To be fair, you'd only mod for someone you know you'd be okay with modding and close with anyway. I guess that's there's that point as well. He's from Australia. No, Metamax, Skaten Monk is from
England.
England, yes. I was like, British?
Britain,
No, I don't think that's the word.
I'm British, yeah. I mean, I'm
Yes,
British,
yes, and he is from England. There you go. I mean, our first interaction was comparing our baby pictures and how... So I guess context really does matter, especially in a lot of situations. And because you mentioned that you were a very straightforward person, I think that's also one of the problems that we have here in the Asian side, because we tend to be very polite. And so we tend to keep our thoughts to ourselves and we don't voice them out. And that is one of the problems that we, especially for the female VTubers, have had to deal with. And having a mod who will, not hesitate to tell someone to their face to just, to shut it, is a...
See, I don't know, like, there's a difference between me and that as well. It's kind of, like, you can tell someone as a friend, like, to sort of chill out and stuff. I think some mods get a bit too, like,
drunk with power?
Kind of, yeah. They're kind of like, oh, this person needs to stop, and it's like, no, if I've invited someone on the stream, then I know what they're about, and I'm not gonna let them like silence themselves on it. Like, if they want to say something, let them say it. We're all adults. We can, if I ever got in trouble for something I said on the stream, I'd be like, yeah, I meant it. Like, I don't say anything I don't mean. Or like, if it was a joke, maybe I'd be like, yeah, it was just a joke. Calm down. Like, all that kind of stuff. Whereas some of them, like, you need to stop this on, like, everything. And it's like, no, just let the content people, do their thing. Like, mods, like, fair play if someone's being weird in chat, but it's a lot of the time, I don't. Maybe it's my own personal way of doing it, but, like, I've met a few power-hungry mods that, like, almost, like, play yes men to, like, the streamer, like, where they just agree with everything they say and stuff. And I think there needs to be, like, a healthy line of not being a yes man, but not also trying to control things like much.
So do you have like an advice then to, like, maybe some sort of a advice for other mods or those who are aspiring or wanting to handle channels for streamers?
I would say just kind of let the person you're modding for, like, decide whether or not Unless they've set out some like very clear rules on stuff. Then yeah, like it's fair play. I know there's some certain like bannable offenses. It takes a lot to get banned in my chat, but I know there's definitely a few things that you would get banned for. If he came in and just started throwing some wild stuff out there, like I'd probably be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Other than that, yeah, it's a lot of it's also just don't try and be an enabler as well. If you got to kind of draw a line, essentially, I think as well. And a lot of people getting into modding for the wrong reasons. I've had a few people recently, not from me personally, but from a friend, where the modders have kind of got the only reason they've gotten started modding is because they wanted to get closer to the streamer, and because the streamer's quite busy with work and like other life things, they've been throwing tantrums about the fact that they've not been able to spend as much time with them, and it's like, no, my guy, like if you're gonna mod or like help someone with their content and stuff like that, you kind of have to like accept that there's gonna be a barrier still. It's not like you're one of the group and such.
Okay.
It's I think it's just about setting boundaries. I think is more my whole point is
Okay.
set
So
your
learning to
boundaries
set
and respect your
boundaries and
boundaries.
respecting those
Yeah.
boundaries. Yes, yes.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of female VTubers writing twitlongers about how their mod was like secretly in love with them and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, yeah, the chances of that actually pulling off and working for you are like fucking about 5%. Like
Exactly, exactly.
most of the time you're getting into it for the wrong reasons, and the only person you're going to upset is yourself and the person that you like enjoy the content of. Like it's not going to work out that way.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's
Setting
more of a
boundaries
female
is
streamer
really
problem.
important, and
Yeah.
something that both the VTuber and their mods have to recognize as well.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like, there's been a few instances with even my mods where I've sort of not so much told them to stop, but like I've kind of there's been extenuating circumstances. Like there was a personal tragedy that happened. So, and usually, obviously, we rip on each other a lot. I sort of sent them messages to the mods. I was like, all right, look, something's gone down today. It's pretty intense. Can you just ease off this person for a bit and sort of direct the jokes a bit somewhere else tonight? And
Okay.
like I'll sort of gauge where I'm making the jokes and stuff. And they've been like, yeah, that's fine. It's the boundary setting. I think that's definitely a case. You need to sort of both the mods and the streamer, like you said, need to have boundaries where if you cross it, you need to just be immediate. And it's quite hard for a streamer as well because obviously these people are helping you out for free and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. There's also that aspect.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to just be like, don't do that, or like, because you kind of feel like they're doing you a favor by doing it.
Because mods essentially are working for free.
Yeah,
You're not like
basically,
paying them
they're
like a
unpaid
salary
labor,
or something.
Yeah.
Moral of the
Like-
story: always double down in your controversy.
That's what I always said. If I ever got in trouble for something, I'm just gonna double down for it. Like, someone's
You're
like,
just gonna
"Must be a
die
joke."
in this hill, something like that.
Yeah, basically, if I make a joke that pushes it and someone's like, monks are racist, I'm gonna be like, yes, I am.
And sooner or later, people are gonna get tired, and they're just gonna move on to the next person who has done some
So-
travesty in their eyes.
I actually have had a cancelling attempt on me before. Back in
Really?
Facebook days. Oh, it's a funny story. It is a really funny story.
What happened?
So basically, like, I'll not name names, obviously,
Okay.
just to be professional. But there was I used to date a partnered streamer on Facebook, and basically there was a bunch of other partnered streamers, and I got invited to join a game of Among Us of all things, and I was like, all right, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good time.
Okay.
And basically, this person was the most insufferable tool. He had like 30k followers, and yeah, basically he was one of those like where it had gotten to his head, and he was sort of like complaining that people weren't doing things right and stuff like that.
Okay.
So naturally, me being me, he was trying to do like a third imposter thing with somebody, and this like guy that was basically just like almost like a fanboy. He was like just basically just going along with everything he said, and he was like, "No, Monk, you need to do this. You need to do this. He wants us to do this." And I was like, "Nobody tells me what to do." So I killed him, and he got super salty about it. And then obviously in my chat, I kind of let them run free, so they were all laughing about it and making fun of it, and he got so upset
Triggered.
and triggered by it. Yeah, basically. He got so triggered by it, he cancelled the collab and was like, I don't want this toxicity in my community. And then proceeded to go on like a 5 minute, like, oh, not 5 minutes, to be fair, it was like half an hour rant about me and the girl I was dating and how, like, all this other stuff. And I was just laughing about it, like, fucking towards the end, because he was then sending people to my DMs and stuff like that. Yeah, it was something Jason said in my chat that he got triggered by. It was the chat thing. Yeah, reported it back to him, and then he cut the stream off. But then we started turning it into a meme about the fact that like his wife was probably cheating on him, like because he was obviously he opened the first blood, he drew first blood on the whole like talking shit about relationships thing, and we kind of made it as like a bit of a joke. And then a lot of his followers actually came to my DMs and started messaging me like all this kind of stuff, like kill yourself and all the rest of it. And obviously, I'm very thick-skinned, so I was just responding stuff like that. I think we even pulled a couple of their profiles up on tweet and were just making fun of how they look and stuff like that. Which I think was one of the streams we got banned for. But I was kind of just like, you know,
They probably reported you. That's why.
Yeah, that was probably it. And we made because he was talking about my relationship at the time, and I was just like, oh yeah, his wife probably like sleeps with other men and stuff like that as a joke. And then I think it bothered him that much because like 2 weeks later he put up a post saying that he'd found out that his wife had been cheating on him. So we kind of just made it like this whole big joke like of this whole thing. Yeah, that was it. He made all the other streamers leave. And basically kind of like almost blacklisted me, where to a point where nobody would ever like stream with me. Like a lot of the streamers I was friends with, barring about 2, all unfollowed, like blocked, put posts about me saying like not to follow me because I was toxic and all the rest of it.
Were there also a VTuber?
No, these were all like flesh tubers or skin tubers. I like skin tubers or skinwalkers. I'm gonna call them skinwalkers actually. That's my new thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it caused a lot of friction in that relationship, but to be fair, I'm glad that fucking relationship's over anyway. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, no, it was very much a messy situation, but like it was kind of one of those ones where because he kept trying to cancel me, and because I was just like talking shit back and just not being bothered by it, it actually gave me like a massive boost in popularity, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go.
Because people are going to be wanting to find out, like, who is this person that this other person is talking about and is griefing about? So it'll bring traffic to you.
And there was all kinds of memes being made about it and stuff like that. It was great. Honestly, I was having fun because it was very much like none of what they were saying was bothering me, and they were getting more upset about the fact that they weren't bothering me. And he was
because they wanted to elicit a reaction from you, basically, I think is what he wanted.
Yeah, like, and a lot of the time they would come on and they would like talk like some egregious stuff in chat, and I'd be like, oh hey, are you one of the fanboys? Let's pull you up on the stream. And then because it's Facebook, they're commenting as their actual profile.
Their actual profile, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd just be pulling them up on stream like, why don't your kids look like you? Why do your kids look like your friend? Stuff like that, just absolutely like, just having fun with it, but like absolutely just tearing them to pieces.
Oh my god. So, I think that's probably why Facebook gaming is not going to be like viable, because of the fact that, you know, they're using their actual names, and, you know, Facebook is doubling down on making sure that you are the person you say. You have some sort of identification sort of thing.
It's another thing as well. Like I kind of treat streaming like a comedy show. Like, so I'm not sure if this is like the same with like many sort of Eastern things, but in the West, you kind of have what are called hecklers.
Yes.
They're integral to the comedy sort of like formula sometimes, because there's a lot of comedians that get by purely on just how they respond to hecklers. So a big example of one of my like favorite comedians is a guy called Jimmy Carr. He's very British, very dry with his humor, and he gets a lot of hecklers. And the way he just tears them down, I kind of look at it like that. Like if you're enjoying the stream and stuff like that, then yeah, you know, be supportive, have fun with it and stuff like that. But if you want to heckle, I'm also completely for that, and I will talk shit to any heckler that comes in. But I I don't mind. Jimmy Carr. But yeah, no, I encourage heckling as well. So like, I kind of treated it like that. Whereas I'm like, all right, you want to throw your fists in the ring? Okay, yeah, come on in then, and I'll have some fun with you as well if you want to say stuff. So, but I'm never bothered by it. I kind of, yeah, it's a weird one. Like, I think that's probably the best analogy I can think of. Do you guys have like comedy shows like where there's hecklers and stuff in more eastern sort of countries?
Probably, I think there might be, but I think most of the comedies that we have here involves the comedian making fun of the people or the audience. But I don't think there are a
Yeah,
lot of hecklers in the audience per se.
like it's very much like yeah, like the audience is like, yeah, that's kind of one of the staples of the comedy thing as well, is like making fun of the audience, getting the audience
Yeah.
involved type of thing.
Audiences are like fodder for the comedian.
Yeah, basically, and it's a lot of it is I encourage that as well, and I also kind of encourage messing with me as well. I've seen some streamers like get upset by it and stuff like that, but when I play like the GTA stuff and people are just actively trying to kill me constantly and stuff, and people are like in chat, I've seen a couple of people like, maybe we're taking it too far, we've stopped in 5 times. Like, no, it's fine. Like I've put this mod on with the intention that you can fuck with me with it. Go as hard as you need to. I don't mind. It's funny to me. Like I'm not enjoying it. Obviously I'm getting frustrated, but like I'm not upset or angry about it. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, stop killing me and stuff like that. But it's never enough to bother me. Yeah, I think a lot of problems also lie with people having quite thin skins and high opinions of themselves. Yes, the crane mission, yeah. So I was stuck on one stream for one mission I was stuck on, and I was stuck on that same mission for about 4 hours.
What?
And I was like losing the will to live, but like people were like, should we stop? And I'm like, no, it's fine. I have redeems that are built around messing with me. Like, if you pick your moments, you can really just screw me over, and it's like, I think it's funny to me. Because if it happened to anybody else, I'd laugh. So like, if it happens to me, I laugh as well.
So it all really depends on what you're comfortable with as a streamer and as a person. So, and again, I think it involves setting boundaries and knowing where those boundaries lie and letting your chat or your community know where those boundaries are.
Yeah, like I definitely get it, but it's one of those ones where like, oh, if you have a thing where you can throw stuff at the streamer, and then in a tense moment of like a firefight and a scare moment where they get a jump scare and stuff, and they get upset because of the fact that they've used it at that time, then don't put it on.
Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
if you don't want it to be used.
Because
I
ultimately, the redeems and stuff like that are controlled by you. You're the one who put it there in the first place.
That's it. Like he keeps on about the screen blocking redeems. We were at the end of a raid boss, and we were desperately trying to get damage on it, and somebody redeemed the screen blocker one, so I couldn't actually see, so I couldn't contribute the damage to the boss. So I was kind of just shooting wildly in different directions. But like those things are just, I think, are funnier because it's like you can pick your moments and just wait. Oh, hello, Mdnight. Come get out from under the table. Stop it. Can't just jump on me unannounced like that. Wine and dine me for. I'm a classy girl. You can't just go straight under the table. Honestly.
Chad being an agent of. I was not expecting that there'd be a table there, so it sort of hid me.
Fine, you'll find that there's more blood down there if you set the mood right, rather than just jumping on it straight away.
Okay. So, any other advice that you have for in terms of, I guess not just as a mod then, but advice for other VTubers or streamers as skinwalkers, as you say.
Yeah, it's the skinwalkers. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that. I think it's very important about the boundaries and the type of stuff that you said. Right. So, and don't put stuff up that you're going to regret putting up, basically.
Exactly, right? I mean, don't put it up in the first place. If you feel like you're having second thoughts about it, then just don't put it up. Simple as that.
if you're gonna play a competitive match or something, or like if you're in a tournament and you've still got your scream redeems on, you're damn right I'm gonna wait till you're in clutch to hit you with a scream redeem because it's just funny to me. Like you shouldn't have it up. You should just disable it for that particular stream. I have a drunk light redeem one, and I know that if I don't turn it off, like, and people redeem, like, you know, they have a shot of whiskey one, they'll redeem it. I know they will, and they'll know it because it'll be my own fault for having it up. I've had one where I forgot to put it up, got 3 shots redeemed. Like, right, I'm taking these 3, but then I'm turning that redeem off because I can't fucking get too drunk because I'm at work tomorrow morning. Sort of type stuff. Like, if you put it up there, it's kind of up there. You have to deal with it.
Exactly. So you bear the consequences of your own actions.
That's it. A lot of people just don't seem to understand that there's consequences for their own actions at the moment.
It's like they're blaming the people who are, you know, who are, I suppose, piling or criticizing them for their own actions. Like, if you didn't want that in the first place, please do not do those things. Think first before you actually do that or tweet that or say that.
Take a second, think about it, and if you're not 100% committed to the thing, then don't do it. I like that. That's kind of it. Everything I say, I put 100% behind. I'm like, okay, I mean that. Like, or if it's, you know, I'm committed to the joke. That if anybody ever got upset with it, I'd be like, it's just a joke, or you know, like that's just how I feel about it.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go down to we're almost at the end, but just a little bit more. Okay, so now we have dealt. I don't know if that's the right term with being a VTuber, with your gaming, with being a mod. Now let's go into what is wrong with my model.
Thank you for offering your
Just
blood.
keep coming closer towards me. I'm like, oh, hello. There we go again. It's fine. Like, you just keep scooting over towards me. Would you like me to just come closer? I can come closer if you really want me to.
No, I'm running away.
Let me just whisper in your ear real quick. All right, I'll sit back down where I was. I was picking up on some signs that weren't there apparently.
Just stick to your beer and your cake, please.
Okay. Mdnight, please control yourself. It's not usually me that's telling a lady that.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So let's go into the street. This isn't supposed to be that kind of.
No, Mdnight, no. I couldn't possibly.
Oh God, the blood.
Please, just be gentle. I'm so shy. I'm so nervous.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm a psycho, yeah.
Don't go psychotic. The night is still young.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay. So you mentioned that you've already been streaming on Twitch for like not just as a VTuber but also as a skinwalker. Yes.
Yeah, I was a skinwalker like maybe 10 years ago.
Okay. So what is your take on the 50-50 sub split on Twitch?
I mean, it's corporate greed at its finest. Like it's you know, maybe it's a bit of a rip off. I think probably they should take it maybe 70%. Like we should get 70% rather than the 50-50. I think 50-50 is a lot, especially when you're like first initially coming out of it. I'm not that bothered though. It never really phases me. It's kind of like, oh yeah, there are ways around it if you're that sort of way inclined. You can set up a Patreon or whatever, and just like, yeah, don't subscribe to me on here. But it's also a bit annoying because you can get more content and access to stuff by subbing and such.
Exactly. That's also one of the things that I have had to consider. Like, you could put up a donation link or a tip link, but that would also mean less value for your chat and your community because they don't get the same benefits that they would get if they were subbing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you call this? So basically, it is something that needs to be at least for me as well. I think it's something that should be addressed by Twitch and, find a way around it that'll work not just for them, but for the, the content creators and the platform as well. Would you ever
I don't
consider,
think it
by the
ever
way,
will.
huh?
Go on, sorry.
Okay, so would you ever consider moving to, another platform aside from Twitch? I know that you were from Facebook initially and then you switched over to the purple. Would you ever consider like switching over if ever, God forbid that Twitch should start dying and, consider moving over to the red platform or the
you can speak their names. They're not fucking evil monsters.
YouTube, TikTok, and what other platforms? Kick as well. Have you heard of Kick, by the way?
I have heard of Kick, yeah. Kick, I think, would appeal to someone like myself because I don't really have to worry about TOS as much. And I can be a bit more unfiltered. There's been a lot of jokes a lot of the time where I've had to like take myself back and be like, if I make that one, that's against TOS. Like, even though I mean like nothing bad by it and it is just a joke, there's like, because I have a very high policy of, you can joke about anything because like jokes kind of open up dialogue and stuff as well. But yeah, there's a few things about Twitch that I'm not that preferred with, and I like the idea of I've juggled with the idea of moving to YouTube before because I still release content on YouTube. I release shorts, I release the highlight reels for the streams and stuff, and then also the music stuff as well gets released on YouTube. TikTok I wouldn't stream on, no, God no, but it's good for content and advertising and such. But I think I would probably, if I was going to do it, I would probably move to YouTube, and then I could have sort of my streams and my upload content all in one place, and then I would only have to upload to like TikTok and other places, like just for short form and minimize it. But for the moment, Twitch is doing okay for me. It's like it has its ups and downs. I think sometimes sometimes I have good nights, sometimes I have bad nights, but that's just the game, isn't it? It's like not every night's going to be amazing. You'll have some dead streams, you'll have some good streams. It just depends.
Yeah.
You'll try something new, it won't work. You try something new, it might work, and
exactly.
It might work the first time, but not work the second time. It's a constantly evolving thing.
It's not like the regular 9 to 5 job where you know what to expect. Yeah.
I don't think it would ever become like a 9 to 5. Even if I was, I'd probably make more time for it if it became a bit more substantial. But I don't think I'd ever quit a day job and do it just purely on its own. I'd be freaking out constantly. I'd be like, I need something that I know is coming in at the end of the week, like sort of stuff.
I know, right? Like, I understand and I recognize that we are in a privileged position because we have like day jobs to support, our daily needs, like, paying for food or bills and stuff like that. Other people do not have the same situation. Like, they're choosing to do content creation full time, and I don't know, it's like whenever I see tweets or Twitter is really the source of it. But like when people posting like I am gonna need some some money because I don't have anything, I cannot pay for my rent and it's coming, and that sort of thing, and it's I usually don't know how to feel about it. On one side, I'm like, I feel bad for them, but at the same time, on the other side, I'm also like, well, then you need to find an alternate source of income and not just content creation, not just streaming,
Yeah, and this is going to be my hot take for the stream. Like, content creation is a lot of fucking work. Like, I constantly am analyzing my own stuff and being like, what can I do better? Like, how could I have made that edit better and stuff like that? Armando makes jokes about it a lot because he always hears me listening to my own videos. And it's because I'm like sort of looking at him like, what could I do better about this edit that would make it look better for the next one and so on. And it's a lot of time investment. And as harsh as it sounds and as boomer as it sounds, is that I'm pretty sure if you spent that much time like messing around with content as you did actually looking for a stable source of income, then it would be a case of you probably would have found work to support yourself. I like streaming and thing. had this perception of it where it's almost like you're busking on the internet, and you can pick up a guitar and you can go busk in the street. But if you can't play the guitar very well, people aren't going to throw money at you. But if you're really good, people throw a lot of money at you. And you can maybe do it sustainably, or like, maybe use that money to push yourself up somewhere that you can maybe look at it a bit more professional. There's a couple of musicians that have started off as like buskers on the street. And that's essentially what it is. You're being entertaining, and if people like it, they can walk past and throw money at you, or they can stay and listen and throw money at you, or they can just stay and listen. It's not a sustainable one. If you're a full-time content creator, I think you need to actually have a sustainable income via either Patreons or, your money from revenue and such, rather than subs and bits.
Yes.
Something that's like different. If you're pulling in views and making a consistent thing, then you can consider being a full-time content creator. But I would advise, for the sake of sanity, just going and looking for like a normal job to do in the daytime. Like, I quite like bartending. Like, I realized after working a few office jobs that I quite enjoy bartending, because it's a social job. I can sort of chill out a bit. It's
you can deal with other people, or you get to meet other people.
Yeah, like there's a couple of regulars and stuff I'm starting to learn in my new job where, I can sit down and have a chat with them. They know me by name. I know what they drink and stuff like that. I can sort of be like a bit more social, like, like, oh yeah, how's wife, how's kids, all that sort of stuff. And it's very much it's a job that I know pays well and I can do well in. And like, as I've been saying before, I wouldn't ever go content creation full time unless I was in the thousands of pounds and such. And even then, I wouldn't go too crazy with it. I would buy a small place that I know was secure. I think a lot of people in that genre either go too hard with it too fast. They'll have a modicum of. You'll see it like with some YouTubers where they have like their 2 years where they're really famous, and they bought like a mansion and everything
right?
from the time that they're famous. And then they can't afford to keep it, like, afterwards. And then you get the people, like you said, that are full-time content creators, but they have no other job and stuff like that. I get there's, like, emergencies and stuff, and, like, I've contributed towards a few in the past where it's like, oh, my dog's really sick and I can't afford the surgery. And I've been like, yeah, fuck it, I'll chuck you, like, 50, 60 quid to, like, help sort your dog out and such. Or, like, But it's the ones that don't do anything and like constantly are posting up about how they need rent money and stuff like that. And I'm like, you fucking what the fuck? No, go out and get a job. You've posted up about how you spent like 30 hours on stream like consistently, and I'm like, well, could have been looking for a job in that. Like,
the same amount of effort.
Yeah, if you put the same amount of effort into getting something, I think for starting VTubing and stuff like that, it should be a hobby. I think people get into it with delusions of grandeur, where they're going to become like.
Okay, that's a very interesting term right there. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said delusions of grandeur, especially because with VTubing, you have the ability to create a representation, an avatar, a representation of yourself, and you can make it as grand and as beautiful and as as expensive. But do not expect that just because you have that particular avatar, that sort of, does not mean that you will automatically become, explode as a VTuber or something.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm in a group where I'm the leader of the group, but I'm not the most popular person in the group. And it's a lot of people think that because they've joined a popular group and that they're popular by default, and that's not the case. A lot of the people that watch say my group's obviously got people like Full Monya, it's got Angie, it's got Shion Ebby. I think Shion's probably our most popular one. I think she's got the highest follower count. What is Shion at now? She's at I'm just looking at her profile. 6.2k. Shion's at. And just because a lot of people follow Shion doesn't mean they're going to follow me. A lot of the group members are very different in their sense of the humor, to a point where you'd think that people even if you shout out people in a stream of 100, you'll probably only get 2 or 3 people that follow it, because it's just not for them. And I think a lot of people also don't understand that as well.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Where they're like, oh yeah, why is this person popular but I'm not? And it's like, it's either a case of the problem always comes down to you, I think, with it. And that's kind of, people aren't willing to look at that way, which is why you get a lot of posts like, oh, my model looks so much better, or my model's so much better than that. And I'm like, yeah, but they're doing something that you're not. And I think it comes down to personality. There's that fucking thing at the moment, isn't there, with that woman with the massive tits and that other VTuber's getting salty about it, and it's like, what? I understand the TOS thing, but if you read the TOS, top boob is fine, under boob is
Yeah,
not
it's the
fine.
under boob
Like,
thing that is, yeah.
it's very clear cut. Like, you need to read the TOS, my guy. And a lot of it, I think people get vindictive about it because they feel like they can't look inwards and sort of be like, no, I just wasn't very entertaining that stream. Or like, you get the silent boy that plays Valorant and doesn't understand why people don't want to watch him. It's like, you don't say anything, you don't interact, like, or like, you know, I can understand that, like, people that watch, say, like Angie or something, not all of them are going to want to watch me because it's completely different content. Angie's cute and adorable, and I'm fucking deranged and unhinged and screaming about why fucking the Chinese government needs to be brought down and all this other shit. Like, it's a complete tonal shift. But your assets are kind of like a billboard. Like, you show them up, but like, if you have a really nice asset for a restaurant and then you show up and the restaurant's shit and nobody wants to serve you and stuff, it's going to be like, oh, okay, then I'm not coming here again.
Yeah, they're gonna just be dropping by once and then never come back again.
Yeah, I realize I make a lot of metaphors for things, and they're all like really like day-to-day mundane shit. Like, I realize I have a fucking habit of metaphors at the moment. But yeah, no, like, definitely. I think a lot of people, like I said before, delusions of grandeur, where they think they are like, it's very difficult to look at yourself and be like, yeah, I'm pretty average. Like, you know, I'm a fairly like talentless individual. Like, it's difficult to sort of just look at yourself and be that objective.
Objective, yeah. Look at yourself objectively in the mirror. Yeah. Which is good to have, like, people around you who will actually, like, tell you how it is to, like, you know, bring you down to earth if ever you reach a point where you start having delusions of grandeur, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I made a comment recently where I was just like, half of these people have never been slapped in the face, and it shows, like, because no one's ever fucking actually just clocked them for saying something. I've been punched in the face many a time for things that I've said in real life. Like, I've deserved each and every one of them, I'm pretty sure. Like, but like, that comes with a bit of clarity of maybe being like, you know what, maybe I was out of line there and stuff like that. I think it's very much a yeah, I think a lot of people kind of need to look more inwards and rather than outwards. Like,
More introspective, I suppose.
yeah. I look at the people that I look up to content-wise, and I go, yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's a really good idea. I should do something similar to that, or like make my own spin on it. Whereas some people would look at it and be like, oh, I do that. Why am I not getting attention?
Yeah, right? Like, they think that that's the blueprint, and they do the exact same thing, and then realize it's not working for me the way it's working for X and X streamer, and now I'm sad, and I want to, you know, like, tweet about it.
I've seen so many, like, I just want to quit VTubing. No one showed up to my stream. I'm like, bro, I've had streams where, like, 3 people have been watching. And I'm like, you got to kind of look at those situations and be like, okay, what am I going to do? I've dead streams. And I'm like, right, if I've got a dead stream, I'm going to set up some jokes. Like, even if it, like, I'm going to intentionally set up jokes, like, rather than let them flow naturally, I'm going to set up some stuff on the stream or, like, on the game and stuff so that I can clip it and then use it for content. And then I can put that clip up and be like, look what you all missed out by not showing up. Hilariously funny, completely random,
unscripted joke. Yeah, totally not scripted and totally not clipped on purpose.
Yeah, literally, like, I look at it like that. I'm like, I can use this for, like, content somewhere else if I've got a dead stream. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people as well have with the delusions of grandeur argument again. A lot of people get offended when they don't show up, and it's like, people have lives, people have stuff to do. Like, yeah,
making people feel guilty. Perfect strategy.
Ask any of my ex-girlfriends. I'm not afraid to gaslight anyone. Use
Okay,
whatever
then
tactics you
be
need.
warned to all the females out there when you
Oh,
encounter
yeah.
Monkey in the street.
You won't know. You won't know there's red flags till it's too late.
You'll only realize it when it's too late, when you're now under his grip. It's always a good stream if you're there for the streamer. That's, I think, yeah, that's going back to what Monkey said about just because you're part of this group doesn't mean that the same people who subscribe to this streamer is gonna subscribe or follow you, because each person has their own, vibe, and they attract a certain type of people as well. So if you don't give off the same vibe as the people they follow, then don't expect them to follow you if that is the the case.
Yeah, it's all down to personal taste. Like I know that I'm quite a niche taste. Like not a lot of people enjoy sort of darker content, especially in the VTubing space as well. I've noticed it's kind of like a lot of people like pretty avatars and like more wholesome sort of enjoyable.
Yeah, they
stuff.
want
Not
everything
everyone.
to be like very wholesome and cute, and then there's the other extreme end where everything is just lewd and sus, and
yeah, the horny sort of side of things, and then there's like the more. So I lean more on the horny side, but that's not really like my thing. Like I flirt and play around and stuff like that, and make suggestive jokes, as you may have noticed on this particular stream, with you sticking your head under the table every couple of minutes.
Totally not
that
scripted,
mine,
by
but-
the way. Totally not scripted. No.
I know, totally not. We all give into our impulses sometimes. It's fine. No. A lot of it, I think, is it's very much between those two lines. You don't really tend to find many offensive sort of things. The offensive side of humor and everything, I quite like. That's definitely where I lean. Just, I think it's part of the British culture as a standard. We do like being offensive sometimes.
Speaking of which, I had a question as well that I threw at you. Something about dealing with cultural differences when it comes to your British sense of humor, and then dealing with people from other cultures, and how how it affected the interaction between you and other people. You using your British humor.
I think a lot of it. Most of my sort of interactions have been. I mean, obviously, I hung out with Fulmonia a lot. Luckily, Fulmonia was kind of very similar to me, and she sort of understood the fact that I was joking. But like I said, there was a lot of people that would, like Shion, for example, is a good one. Shion was absolutely terrified of me when we first met, and because Shion sort of came into the group, and she saw how like me and Nicole and me and Fulmonia would talk to each other, and she was like really sort of like, oh God, please don't like be mean to me like that. Because like I'll say some horrendous stuff to Nicole and stuff like that, like I'm calling her a fucking man and telling her that she needs to shave her facial hair and stuff, and like all this other stuff. Like, but like she'll say equally like bad stuff back to me, and like Fulmonia and me can be a bit like heavy on the oh yeah, what's this white man and stuff like that, and like oh yeah, Asian woman, like what are you doing and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a lot of people get like a bit tense around it.
Yes, understandable.
But it's kind of like it's earned. Like we push that boundary because we know that we can with each other. There's been a few times where like she's posted something up in Tagalog, and I'm like, I don't speak weeaboo or something. Can you translate this? And
so
then,
basically, you're saying that you're an acquired taste, and
no,
not a lot
definitely.
of people can get used to your taste. I don't know. I don't mean to make it sound. But
No,
your humor is an acquired taste, and not a lot of people that you interact with, especially for us Asians, are able to to handle that the humor is basically what you're saying.
I think a lot of it is also subtextual. So like a lot of the time, like I have always on record, just like even on my Twitter, I think it says like don't take things I say seriously. I don't take what I say seriously. Like
Yeah.
I will level with people if I'm actually being serious about something, but like
Mm.
a lot of the times I will say and do things because I think they are funny in the moment. I'll be like, yeah, that's funny. I'm just gonna say that because it'll be like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? Type sort of stuff. And I think a lot of that, because obviously there's a language barrier as well, because a lot of you guys obviously speak Tagalog as your prime language, and you've learned English as a secondary language. That a lot of like subtext and stuff and like
Better
meanings
get
and
lost in
idioms and stuff like
translation.
that. Yeah, like a lot of it gets lost in translation. So like a lot of it is very much like occasionally I have to like explain things a bit, but like I think a lot of it as well is that we British as a culture, we're not that bothered if people don't really speak our language. We'll just break things down. But I think because of like how aggressive we can be in the West compared to how sort of like respectful it can be in the East, is that a lot of people get intimidated as well because they're speaking a language that they're unfamiliar with. Whereas I'll just power through it and be like, I mean this thing, like, you know, this thing and all this sort of stuff. But I'm never like bothered or like I'm never like annoyed by it. I'm more like I'm the fucking idiot that only speaks one language here. Like fair play to this person. They know two languages. I don't. I only know how to introduce myself in Tagalog, and that's it.
Do you know how to? Did they teach you how to
Yeah.
introduce yourself in Tagalog?
Should I introduce myself?
Yes, in Tagalog.
Okay, I mean in Tagalog, yeah. The pronunciation might be a bit butchered, but I'll just come over and be
Okay,
like,
okay, go ahead.
"Ang pogi talaga daxpa." There we go.
Okay. I should teach you how to speak in Visayan as well. I mean, if they can teach you in Tagalog, which is another language, I should teach you how to speak in Visayan as well, which is another language here in the Philippines. That's actually my native language. Tagalog is not my native language, so I don't usually
Did you understand
speak
what I said
it.
there, then? Did you understand what I said then?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What did I actually say? 'Cause I've never actually asked them what it means by that saying that.
No, oh no, more demon summoning. It's not demon summoning. But
I also said to like they said to say this to people as well. I put it in your chat.
Okay, so yeah.
Ako
I
ay-
on
what's that?
behalf of
Ako
the
ay-
Filipino
Ako ay
VTube.
mangibo o sayo.
On behalf of the Filipino VTubers who have been teaching you stuff.
I know it probably means something completely different.
No, I should
What?
no. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you how to speak in Visayan, and then that you'll know how to talk in a language that they don't know. Because not a
To be
lot
fair, I
of
think Paul
Filipino
speaks
speaking
Visayan.
VTubers understand Visayan actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's also like a whole other language. Although they share similarities, but they are not completely the same language. They're a different language altogether.
There's another one as well. I got told.
This is bath water. Is that what you mean?
What about bathwater?
That's the ako ay iinom ng tubig na pinalik ko. Why do you have two different languages in the same country? We have several languages actually.
Yeah.
Do I hear shooting in the background, or is that music or what? No shooting.
It might be me. There's an uprising again. Hang on, let me sort that out.
Let me see. I'm trying to
What's that top one mean then? That mangi baba sayo.
It basically means you go on top
Oh yeah,
of
that's
someone.
I'm 6'5". I'm not exactly going to be a bottom, am I?
Yeah. But I think they meant that in a figurative way and also in a literal way, in a sus way. I think.
That's fair. That's also accurate. But what's the other one then? The Anpogi Talaga Daxpar one then?
The last part I don't quite understand because I'm trying to understand what is the Tagalog word for it or something. But the first one means basically that you are handsome, or you're telling them or whoever it is you're talking to that you are handsome.
Yeah, I know what it meant. I was just messing with you. The Dax part, the Dax is a slang term in Tagalog for being well endowed.
Oh.
So it's basically saying that, hello, I'm handsome and well endowed.
I see. Well, my my knowledge of Tagalog slang is a little bit limited, I suppose.
The funny thing is they don't think I'm going to walk up to someone and say that while I'm on vacation, and they're out of their fucking minds if they think I'm not going to do that, because I'm absolutely going to do that just for the giggles.
You just imagine. Oh my goodness. Okay. Monkey is maganda. And here is another person who is also learning Tagalog. Tahu.
What's Maganda?
It's the opposite. Oh no, the female equivalent of Pogi.
Pass.
Beautiful. If Pogi is handsome, then Maganda is beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm just learning the words. I mean, I could teach you the curse words in Visaya because it's a little bit more like. That one is that one is a Tagalog what do you call this? It's a Tagalog curse word, I suppose. People here. But the one that I have is I don't think I'm gonna post it in chat. I'm just gonna send it to you via DM. But it is a curse word, I suppose, in Visayan. That is like a heavy-handed curse word.
There was another one in Tagalog which was like the Tagalog version of the song Ignition, and I think it was like incredibly sexual in its like lyrics and undertones, and I was singing that on stream one time for a laugh.
What song?
I think it's like Ignition in like the Tagalog version of it.
Ignition.
I think it is like heavily like sexual, like in its actual lyrics.
Ah, okay. I'm not familiar.
That was one full mon you taught me. She taught me that one. Dax I learned from Rosea, like because she was that was the first thing she said to me when because we were playing VR chat together, and because obviously it captures my real height in VR. So I was like towering over her, and she was like, "Are you that tall in real life?" And she was like, "I was like, yeah, I'm 6'5" in real life." And she was like, "Oh, Dax Monkey." Instead of looking up, I was like, "I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure." And then she told me what it meant. I was like, "Ah, yeah, no, I'll take that. I'll take that compliment."
Okay. So going back before we get sidetracked even more.
Yeah.
I think that you've already mentioned this, but so aside from aside from live streaming, you also promote your channel on YouTube. Like, do you upload your VODs in there as well, or?
I don't do VOD uploads. I tend to just do clip highlight reels and such, with editing on them. So there was a series which was Monkey Monthly, which we were running for a year or so. I've taken a step back from that currently, just because I wanted to, because we were kind of rushing to get episodes out every month, and it just kind of, I think, was a bit more like pressure than we wanted to. So I was sort of saying like, oh yeah, well, so we finished off the year, and then like life just got busy. Like there was the end of university, there was me moving and stuff like that. So we had to combine like months and stuff because of like how little time we had to stream.
Mm.
Whereas now at the moment with Cheese, I'm working on about 5 different highlight reels. Oh, excuse me 1 second. Sorry, I had to really badly cough then.
It's okay.
And
It's okay.
yeah, so we're working on a bunch of highlight reels then, and then there's also some other stuff as well, like some little side projects with the music videos and such. Which one of them should have been out by like February, but then ended up having to get put back because I didn't like the recording. So, and I've been sick like with a really bad throat for fucking ages. And every time I get better and it starts to come back, I get sick again, and I'm like, for God's
Oh
sake.
no.
So I have to go back to the studio at some point and record my bits again. So yeah, a lot of the major edits are on YouTube with the highlights and stuff, and like just occasional like jokey sort of meme posts and such. I post like the odd clip on Twitter every so often just to see if I can bait the algorithm. And then there's shorts on TikTok and YouTube shorts as well. That's kind of where, but the stream VODs and stuff I don't really keep. I accidentally uploaded a VOD of my Resident Evil 4 playthrough randomly, and I've just not taken it off yet. But other than that, no, the VODs are kind of a blink and you'll miss it. A lot of the times, obviously, because I dance and flirt with TOS a bit, and copyright material and everything, I kind of like the VODs to just go off, because I can use the clips and not have to worry about essentially like them coming back to bite me in like 4 years time or something, because I've used like copyrighted material and stuff.
Okay.
Whereas if I use it quickly for a joke on a stream or like a TikTok or something, it's a lot easier. So like, unless I can create some fear of missing out of my own.
Oi,
But-
what does that mean, Metabax? What do you mean can confirm? Confirm what exactly?
I think about that you're being quite sus today. The fact that you're just diving under the table constantly and such.
They're the ones that are
Bit of-
redeeming
bit of
stuff.
frustrating.
I'm not.
Again with these excuses, it's all right. We can't fight.
Yeah,
our
I'm not
impulses
gonna
all the
excuse
time.
myself because, as they say, the more I try to explain, the more I just bury
The worse it
myself.
sounds. Yeah,
Ain't talent because I'm not snitching.
I ain't a snitch. No. Excuse. Honestly, it's the accent. I understand. It happens sometimes.
Okay, so considering all of the experiences that you've had, would you consider yourself what, an introvert or an extrovert? Like in terms of how you are.
I can be both, honestly. Sometimes I'm a bit more extroverted. It depends what mood I'm in, honestly. Sometimes I like going out. I like to go party and stuff like that. I like to, socialize and such. As I said, bartending's quite nice for that, so I can sort of have a laugh with people, and sort of interact a bit more socially. And then sometimes I'm just like, if someone comes even remotely near me, I'll punch them in the face type mood. So it like depends. Sometimes I like to just shut myself in and chill by myself, or like play games and stuff to like blow off steam. But sometimes I can be a bit more extroverted. I think I flip between. I think mostly, if I was gonna label it, I would say I'm probably like 65 to 70% introverted. But that's only because a lot of the hobbies I like rely on, just being in my
Indoor.
room playing games.
Indoor
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah. Whereas like shooting and stuff, I usually go by myself or like with somebody else. Very rarely go with somebody else. Most of the time I went shooting, I think I've been by myself.
So more like an ambivert, I guess. I think that's the right term to
Is
use.
that a term? Like, I didn't even know it was a
Yeah,
term.
the
Yeah,
ambivert
like,
thing where certain situations you're in, it all depends on the situation that you're in, whether or not
Yeah.
you are introverted or extroverted. So there's a new term that is called an ambivert. So because there's a
Yeah.
sense of ambivalence, I suppose, in your personality or something like that.
I think it's less like environment and more just my mood. Like sometimes I'm just in the mood to go out and get like drunk and party and go wild, or like do all that kind of stuff.
He is
And
a
then sometimes
switch.
I'm just like a switch.
Oh, same
make
as
the
in
click sound.
ambidextrous. Yeah, something like that, Sakura. Yeah, so they can change. On Monkey's case, it depends on his mood whether or not he wishes to be introverted or extroverted, and
Yeah.
how he's going to deal with certain situations.
I've never gone and sort of agreed to something that I've regretted later. Like I've never been like, oh yeah, I'll go out tonight, and then I've been like, oh, I really can't be asked to go out tonight. It's usually like I've been in the mood to do something, so I want to do it, so I'll go do it.
Mm.
Whereas if I don't want to do something, I usually know I don't want to do it. Like if it's a social outing, and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll I'll stay in tonight and do nothing. I think, like I said, a lot of the time I've been quite buried in the whole VTubing sort of hobby and such. And because I'm buried in the hobby, I put a lot of time into it. So I think I've been a bit more introverted recently. But it's probably why I've enjoyed getting back into bar work, because I've been a bit more social and sort of it's social, but it's through work and stuff like that. And you can
Mm.
grab a drink after your shift and everything, and sit down and chill and talk to people for a bit, and then go home. And I can sort of bury myself in that.
So it's really dependent on what you're feeling at the moment, and how you wish to like have a change of pace or change of environment or
Yeah.
something like that.
More or less, yeah.
Okay. I think you mentioned this before already, but about a certain place in Texas. But if you could live anywhere in the world, would you prefer staying in England or would it be somewhere else?
It would probably be, yeah, I'd probably go to America. I would probably go to America. I would probably go to a state like Texas or like Tennessee, maybe like South or North Carolina.
Like, do you have like a
southern
specific
state.
reason as to why you're picking those states?
Gun laws are really like
Ah,
lax
I
there.
see. Okay.
So I would probably want to, if I was to, in a ideal scenario, I would probably own a house with like a decent, where there are no lemons. Yeah, basically. No, I would probably move like there and sort of, because a lot of the stuff I've done studying wise is like police work, sort of military stuff, and weapons training and all that kind of stuff. So like a lot of that stuff, my IRL sort of interests in Korea, like I'm probably going to go back to doing reserve stuff so I can go on a deployment with the military, and then the police areas I was looking at was like detective work and armed response and stuff like that, counter-terrorism and all that kind of stuff. So, like, being able to own guns for like luxury purposes would be quite nice as well, because I could just buy a bunch of guns and have a nice big yard to shoot them in and stuff like that, and
Not have to worry about, other people
yeah,
reporting
low
you.
taxes as well. Low taxes is a good thing, especially in the southern states. It's cheap and it's like nice and like quite warm weather and such as well. So I can enjoy the weather. Plus, having lived in the States before, I think it's just a better quality of life over there and such as well. Nice big guard for my gun. I mean my dog. I mean my gun. It's. I quite like the idea of that. Like I said, if I ever became like famous or something, like if I ever blew up, I would probably like one, help my friends that want to move away from like, especially like the ones in the Philippines. I would probably help them move out with it all and such, and I would probably go set up somewhere in the States as like a hub for it all. But that's like pipe dream fantasy stuff. That's like 1,000,000 to 1 chance of ever happening. Yeah, even my dog would be armed. Like, I'll give the dog a gun.
Well, as they say never, right? So it might be
true.
a pipe dream at the moment, but you never know, further down the road, that dream could become reality. It would no longer be a pipe dream, but something that is within your grasp, So you never know. So you never say never. I mean, if
That's
you
very
want
true.
bigger land, you can buy one in the Philippines.
We actually were talking about that recently, because it's very cheap to buy land in there at the moment, and then you can buy it and then convert it into farmland and take a percentage of the cut and such. And yeah, we were talking about that recently with a couple of friends, and I was like, yeah, it wouldn't actually be a bad idea, because you could actually like pay people a decent living compared to the people that like exploit it and take advantage of it and such. But like in a sense, we would be doing the same thing by like buying land where it's cheap, and but. Yeah, no. It's
It's like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
yeah. I go for America for the stuff that I would have available to me. Like,
Yeah.
especially if I had the money, because I would have the money for guns. I would have the money to go out to like wild places and stuff like that. I could go, out to the beach where there's like, and have a boat and so on and all that kind of stuff. And I would have money to go out to like cool restaurants and like theme parks and stuff like that. So I'd be able to get cheaper land, yes, but there would be less access to the stuff that I would like to do and own. So
Exactly. So the benefit of a cheaper land far or is less how to say beneficial to you that if you were to get a place in the US, right? The benefits that you would get there would be far outweighing the possibility of cheaper land here in our country.
the benefits to like the Philippines, especially since obviously I use a lot of people from the Philippines for like artwork and commissions and stuff. One, because it's cheap on me, like the prices are like ridiculously cheap. Where I'm like, all right, yeah, fuck it, I'll pay that. It's why I usually go through a lot of artists and stuff like that. Plus, they kind of they have a lot more respect for it, and they've been like the most professional people about it. It's the Western ones I think I've had the most trouble with, whereas like they're quite happy for the business and so on, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's good. So that's another thing as well. It's cheap, and it's also like I think it's a better like transaction ultimately. And yeah, no, the cheapness works because I was looking at it when I was planning my vacation, and I was like, I can stay somewhere quite cheap and it's quite nice for like a good couple weeks, and I can have a few weeks like sat on near the beach and such, and it'll all work out quite well. Like the conversion rate is quite useful for someone like me, but I imagine it's stressful for you guys because it's like, holy shit.
Yeah,
our money's worth nothing.
Pounds are a little bit higher compared to dollars here
true.
when you convert it to Philippine peso. Exactly.
It's mad when I think about it sometimes, because like we obviously have conversations where like a lot of the times where like I'll be like, oh yeah, this game's on sale, it's only like £5, and £5 to me is like nothing. I spend that going like to work and from work. Like I spend more than that going to and from work, to be fair. But like it always blows my mind where they're like, no, that's a lot of money to us. That's why I usually just don't mind like buying people games and such. I'm like, yeah, go on, it's cheap as fuck.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, I'd say Armor's a good one, because Armor always goes on sale and it's like dirt cheap for me, and I'm like, yeah, go on, I'll buy someone Armor. Anyone that expresses an interest in the genre, I'm like, hell yeah, come and play the tactical games with me.
Right, exactly. Imagine when all currencies are higher than you.
I've never had it. The pound's always been quite good, so
yeah, actually higher than the dollar in our case. So
yeah, it's higher than. Well, it was lower than the dollar at one point, and that proper messed me up because I usually pay people in dollars, because it's just easier for me, like rather than converting it to pesos and stuff. Because if I convert it to like dollars, it's usually like maybe like the same digits. It's not like I'm sending someone like, instead of $100 for something, I'm sending them like 60,000 pesos or something, and I'm like, I have no time to sit and work that out. I'll just pay you in dollars because it's a lot easier for me to work out.
It's easier, yeah, because of the conversion thing, yeah.
So I usually tip as well, so I usually throw a bit extra on, but I don't really know how like I'm dealing with tips if I'm dealing with like an extra couple digits. I'm like, what? I think I end up tipping people a bit too much sometimes, but.
Artists must love you if you know.
They do. Zenny I work with a lot, and I usually tip Zenny quite a bit. And like I've tipped Cheese and given him a bonus and stuff like at Christmas. I'm just like, am I giving them too much or too little? Like I don't know. I'm just kind of like, because it's obviously like not that much to me, but it's like, and it's sort of like trying to find that weird. Again, it's about balances, isn't it? And I'm like, I don't know what's like the appropriate amount. Yeah, I gotta get used to it. I'm probably costing myself money by not getting used to how the peso works. So I'm like,
You're gonna have to, if you're gonna be coming into the Philippines, you're gonna have to learn to work that out, because people could take advantage of you because of that. So I implore you to learn and get familiar with the foreign exchange rate before you come to the Philippines.
I was in Haiti and they were trying to hustle me for a bit, and I was like, that is
Yes,
not worth like
exactly.
$50. Fuck off. Like, you think I'm an idiot? Like, but like in pesos, I imagine it'd be a bit different. Like, I kind of one of the main things I was looking at, and I was looking at this with Rosea because we were talking about like going out and everyone like in the group going out and meeting up and stuff and going out for drinks.
Mm.
And I was laughing about the fact that it was like, I think it was like 40 pesos somewhere for like a pint, and I was like, I would spend like so much more than that here on alcohol. I would literally be able to walk in and buy like 40 pints, and it would probably cost me about as much as it would for a night out where I'd drink about maybe 15 or 10. Yeah, it's madness. Like the conversion rate always blows my mind sometimes. And then like Fulmonia makes jokes about the onions and stuff, and like onions being worth a lot more now and such. And it's like I was posting like videos of me in like the shopping center in the group chat, being like, "Look at all this Filipino gold!" Just fucking like holding up onions, which are like
Yeah,
dirt
because
cheap
we
over
had
here.
an onion shortage and the price
Yeah.
became really extremely high that
Yeah,
it
so
became sort of a meme actually.
yeah, Fulms was just like, "Pay me in onions." That was just like we were calling it Filipino gold for like the longest time. Like every time we were in the shopping center, we'd be like, "Look at this Filipino gold."
Remember that pay me in onions, right? Like there was a couple who got married and instead of using flowers as their bouquet, they used onions as their bouquet to show that, you know, that they were capable of spending a lot for
Extravagant.
their wedding. Yeah. That they had an extravagant wedding by showing
Shrek wedding. That's beautiful. There's a tear to my eye.
probably that's what's happening to the bride. Imagine carrying a bouquet of onions to walking to the altar, you know.
You wouldn't know if they were crying because of the emotion of the ceremony or whether it was the onions.
Yeah.
I have money. Look at my onions.
It's dual purpose.
I was about to quit everything I own to become an onion smuggler. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take a boat and just a bunch of onions and just sail to the Philippines. Like, I'll smuggle onions.
Smuggle onions. All the friends crying for you and your wedding. Nice side effect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I found the trick to not crying when you cut onions is to not form an emotional attachment.
Not form an emotional attachment to the onion.
Yeah. You don't cry when you cut them, then.
Okay. We have one last question because we are actually already past the 3-hour mark.
I told you we'd hit the time easily. Like,
I know, right? I was like, I name my onions when I cut them.
that's sadistic. I like it. Though.
It is
respect
sadistic,
that.
right? Because you're purposely forming an attachment and then purposely cutting them. It's like serial killer type of stuff.
Yeah, I think Mav might be a serial killer, but that's fine. Pretty sure half of my audience are serial killers too.
Okay, one last question. Are there any other questions, by the way, from chat? If you guys have any other questions that you would like to ask Monkey, as he said before, he is
There's
open.
no such thing as TMI for me. I'll tell anything.
Just make sure that it's still within TOS because we don't want to wake up tomorrow and find out that our channels are gone.
Or just go complete Kanye West or something on.
Just name them like people you don't like.
That's fair.
I guess that is a way of doing it, or perspective makes a difference.
I took a picture of someone I didn't like onto the target range at one of the shooting ranges I went to.
It made them a
I've
target.
never shot more
Gee.
yeah. I made them a full-on target. Like they'd annoyed me that much that I was just like, you know what? It was my old roommate, and I took a picture of it. Like, and there's I just like all the shots are around her head and chest. Like, I was like, I think I've never been more accurate in my life. Like, all those, not a single bullet missed from that magazine.
That's how much you were affected by that person.
How much that person annoyed me. Yeah.
People think I'm weird for laughing with cutting onions. Little do they know I imagine them as my Okay, no questions from chat. All right, all right. I'm guessing that people are, I've already no longer have
I
any
don't,
other questions they would like to ask.
I don't know anything more about this psycho. Get him out of here.
Okay, then one last question for me. If you could learn any skill and then be a master at it in one day, what skill would you want to be a master at?
This is gonna sound really weird
Thank
and
you
out of
for
character,
offering your blood.
but I would pick the violin. Mister, stream's not over yet. Come on, just get out from under the table. Get out from under the table.
I know. I'm sorry.
Calm yourself. Wait till after the stream's over. Yeah, no, I'd pick a violin.
What do you mean?
would
You
learn
mean
the
this?
violin.
The skill is learning to play a violin.
Or I would learn to. No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
Learn what?
If I was gonna master something, it would be to bake.
You want to be a master at that? Why?
Master at what?
No, I'm not gonna say it. No.
Worth a try. Yeah, no, I would actually probably pick the violin.
Okay.
One, because it's a cool instrument, and it's also difficult to master.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did master it, I could probably make a lot of money playing it.
Yeah, as you said, busted on the internet, and yeah, we
Yeah.
could.
And it's a cool instrument. It's a very pretentious instrument to play. I could be like,
It
"Look at
is,
me, I
right?
can play
Like if you have a
I'm
violin,
better
it's
than you."
yeah, it's like when you're playing instruments, stringed instruments like violins, the cello, that sort of thing. When you play that, it's almost like there's an air about you that you know that you're an elite sort of person because of the instrument that you play, right? Like
Yeah, like I like my acoustic guitar a lot, and but I can only play like I remember about 6, 7, or 8 chords like tops, like that I can play consistently. I'm not good at it. I don't know a musical theory, which has been like the downfall of my like whole music arc at the moment. Is that I like have to learn musical theory now and understand how song compositions work and how they fit to like guitars and note strings, and I'm like, this is all very difficult for me. Like, but I've gotten a bit more of the music bug recently, so that's probably where the violin came from. To be fair, because that's also one that the theory is meant to be quite intense for, because like it's all down to position, how you stroke the string and stuff like that.
okay.
But yeah, definitely that would be my masterable skill.
That was actually something that I did not expect coming from you. That
Yeah,
a skill
I
that
did think it was
relates
off-brand.
to the arts, considering you know the reputation, I suppose, that you've built for yourself within the VTubing space.
Being a violent, womanizing lunatic.
You're the one who said that, not me.
That's fine. I wear it proudly.
So yeah, that was definitely a skill that I did not expect you to, you know, to point out as something that you would want to master. As you
Already
so
guns with
succinct-
guns, and I'm already good at kicking things. Like, what else is there to be good at? Besides,
So something to like soften up, or not really soften up, but more like to balance it out, I suppose.
yeah,
Because if you're
can't all be carnage and violence. Like,
yes, such a nice
gotta show
reputation.
the ladies that I have a soft side, a more sensitive side. You know.
So essentially, that's what it boils down.
No. It's not entirely down to that. It is like an actual weird, like personal interest. I like the idea of being really good with an instrument.
All right. That's good to know.
Rather than instruments of war, it's an instrument of music. You know?
Yes. What do you call this? I forgot. There's a term for it, but yeah, something that focuses more on
Some
the
yin
softer
to my
side.
yang. Or yang to my yin, whichever one's the light one.
Yes. He uses the
That's it.
violin to get their attention, and then
I use the violin to lure people in, and then I harvest their organs for the money that it's worth. You see a Tinder date, I see about $80,000 in organ donations.
80,000. You better make sure that you don't leave any traces. Yeah.
Nothing goes to waste. I will waste nothing.
Even the toenails get used.
Even the toenails. There's a market for it somewhere.
Pretty
They'll
sure
buy
there's a
anything on the
market
black
for it,
market.
like voodoo priests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They probably need plenty of them.
Going Lords of the Dead, they'll love some good hair and some good toenails.
Yes.
You just gotta know who he's selling to.
Some scalp somewhere.
Exactly. Nothing gets wasted. Yeah, exactly. We use every part of the kill. Come on now. Not savages.
Nothing is wasted. Yeah, even the bones.
Yeah, the bones can be grinded down. Like you can like bone meal. You ever played Minecraft? You can turn that into like plant fertilizer. Easy. Nothing goes to waste.
Fertilizer for the farm that
More
you're gonna
evidence
be
you
buying.
Yeah, exactly. The nice farm. I
The
can
cheap
plant some,
land that you're gonna be buying and planting stuff in.
They're like, Monk, that land you bought is I've never seen it more fertile. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. All good.
Don't forget to extract the bone marrow. Bones can be made for deep. You can even make instruments with the bone.
I can make it like a bone xylophone. I would love a bone
A
xylophone.
bone xylophone.
Yeah, you should be like, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I would love that. Like, with the skull at the end, where you could like get like a bassier sort of like
The skull would be like the how do you call it? I forgot the term for it.
I would love a bone xylophone. Do they actually sell those? I'm gonna have a look real quick.
You only get wasted when you're dead drunk. The bunk? No.
Bone xylophone. Is there actually a bone xylophone? Adopt me. What?
That's the skull.
There's a sheep bone xylophone.
Sheep bone, but not human bone.
I don't think they sell many human bone things. Like,
I mean, there probably is, but they don't exactly advertise that sort of thing. Yeah,
they never
probably
let me
be
leave
somewhere
the
in some
forensics lab with them,
rainforest, or with some cannibal people. Where
I'll tell
they
you,
don't.
I've actually held like human skulls before in a forensics class. I did something really naughty that I should have done, but I actually juggled like 2 of them. I think they were children's skulls.
Oh my god! They're probably haunting you right now. By the way, just so you know, they're probably haunting you right now.
Probably, honestly.
Like hanging around in your home or where you're staying.
That's what they're like. They didn't expect to die all those years ago, so they get juggled around by like some idiot like 600 years later.
It actually woke up their souls who were about to, who were waiting to be transported to the other side. They went back just to, to take the revenge on you.
There was actually a rule on the wall that if you ever picked up a skull, you weren't allowed to do a Shakespeare quote. It was like, what the
what?
There was I remember in the lab that we used with all the bones and such. There was a rule like if I catch you quoting Shakespeare while holding a fucking skull, I'll kick you out of the class.
You hold it like a philosopher. Ask them to pay the rent.
Hey, yeah, I want my rent. Live in my house.
Rent.
I don't believe in ghosts or anything like that, so I've never really been bothered. Like, I'm straight antagonistic if people say there's a ghost in the house. I'm like, yeah, right then, come on out, fight me.
Okay, are there any questions that Chad would like to ask? If not, I think we are. Yeah, that is. Those are all for the questions that I have had to, or they've had to ask. If it is Sadako, then ask her out on a date.
I mean, I would. She's bad with it. Like.
I think Sadako would be more afraid. If ever she and Monkey were to go on a date, to be honest.
She's like, what kind of lunatic have I gone out on a date with? And I kill people.
Okay, so thank you so much, Skate and Monk, for spending your time, your 3 hours plus, with us, and for being so game to answer our questions. Oh yeah, Rosie, I didn't like having you in our demonologist stream.
Oh yeah, no, I was straight saboteuring, and she was like, "Oh, you're so annoying to play with." I was like, "Yep." I run around and antagonize the ghost and try and get everyone killed quickly.
He's finally
He's finally
going.
good. Fuck you, Jose.
Okay, so thank you once again, Monkey or Skaten. I think I prefer calling you Monkey as well,
You can call me Monkey.
rather than
Yeah.
have to go through the entire Skaten Monk thing. So
Midnight, you can call me whatever you like.
I want to reply with something sus, but you know, chat is gonna roast me again. So I'm just gonna zip my mouth.
Oh no, come on, you gotta commit now. You
No.
gotta say it. Come on.
Call him a
Say it.
no. You're not gonna make me. I can hold off on my own. We all do when
Okay.
We's not around. You are sus.
What do you mean? You do it when I am around, Jose. That's it. They know you want to say something sus now,
We
so
will
therefore
roast
they
you
automatically.
anyways.
Yeah. You may as well get it out in the open.
No,
Come on,
no,
what's
no.
the sus?
It shall forever be buried with my, you know, with my cadaver.
That's fair, that's fair.
Okay, since you are the guest, Monkey, do you have someone that you would like to raid that we can, you know, transfer over the rest of
Who
the
should we
people
raid?
to?
I'm gonna flip. There's two people that I could probably recommend, so I'm gonna flip a coin on it.
Okay.
Heads Filmonia, tails Shion. Boom. And it is Filmonia.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Well,
All right.
next time.
Okay, so I am just gonna open
On
her
the
page
sewer.
because I
She
follow
went
her
under the
as
table too
well.
many times. She did. She was desperate to get under that table. Feral. Absolutely feral.
Probably needing more blood.
Mm. I mean, like I said, depending on how you play it, there could be a lot of blood down there.
Yes, there's definitely a rich source of blood in there.
Oh, that sounded like a sus comment. Did I hear that correctly? Did I
No,
hear that correctly?
that's about as sus as yes.
Well, it's
Anyways,
been a pleasure,
thank you
Midnight.
guys so much for staying with us until the end of the stream. Thank you as well to those who dropped a follow, and I was not able to greet them because you know we're still talking to Ray Chocolate, Astral Celeste, Wickham 1234, Niclu, Once Upon a Pad, I think. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you as well to Luchan and Bethranil for the resub, and to Hopeless Salaryman for the biddies. I hope you still have your salary, no? So yeah, we are gonna be raiding out to Volmania, and once again, a big thank you to Monkey for agreeing to go on this interview slash podcast. Thank you so much. I hope to be able to do more collabs with games as well with you, and perhaps more discussions as well. Okay, we're about to raid. Goodbye, everyone. Good night. GG's.
Bye.
Okay, wait. Straight at it. Oh, hello.
We all clear?